Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second stop on our southeast swing here as we begin the season for the Full Pedal Jacket Intimidator Cup Series. This is round number 6 from the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia. We welcome you in for 170 action-packed laps here at the bumpy mile-and-a-half raceway here in the state of Georgia. Long race ahead. It's our first trip to a mile-and-a-half in a few weeks, and as you can notice, I'm sure by now, this field is huge. We are looking at around 35 cars that will take to the grid tonight. Our biggest field by far of the entire season. Plenty of new faces, new names that we're going to get to a little bit later on. We'll kind of recap those for you as we get on with the race, especially on the grid. We're going to kind of quickly get into it. The basics are the same if you've been with us before. Race length and stage lengths are the same. A $5 bounty for each of the first 2 stages. That is the JCB Spectre Stage Award. That's for the first 2 stages. Both stages and the race, if you can win all 3. A retro 2001 Daylight, courtesy of our friend William Iracing at JCB. And that is a nice segue into thanking him again for his sponsorship of the league, JCB Excavation, based out of Rhode Island. Good to have him on board for the entire season. He's a great friend of us, and we hope to continue working with him here as we move on. Also to our friend Supreme Ape for helping us out so much as we've been getting on our feet here. He will definitely always have a place in our league, and we thank him a lot as well. With all that said, we got about 8.5 minutes or so until we actually get the cars onto the grid, and we'll try to get through the whole grid. It's obviously a lot more cars than we're used to. So we're gonna try to get some pre-race interviews here before we get going. Quite a few guys to get to, and if I don't get to everybody, I'll try to get to them later. Quite a few new faces we're gonna get to talk to here, and we'll kind of maybe go in grid order. So let's see who's on the grid first. Oh, my grid's not popping up, so maybe we won't do that. We'll just go random, and we'll go to. All right, we'll go to for our first new face tonight. This is Clayton Fry. He's quickly become a big influence in our league and helping us test setups and get ready for the race week. Try to get a word with him before his first race in Full Pedal Jacket. Hey, Clayton, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
Sure do, buddy. How's it going?
Well, I am doing good. Ready for a good race tonight. It's your first race with us, so take us through how you're feeling going into your first start.
Well, just pretty nervous trying not to, of course, I just literally got Atlanta maybe 10 minutes before qualifying yesterday, so just kind of working on getting into pit road and staying out of everybody's way, trying to conserve tires and not embarrass myself.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a respectable goal to have in your first start, and I'm kind of curious, so you're getting a little bit of a late start. We obviously have a playoff system, so I want to know your expectations for yourself for not only the rest of the regular season, but really for the rest of the season now that you've kind of gotten a little bit of a late jump.
Well, lucky for me, we still have a plate track coming up, and I'm kind of a plate specialist. I've got over 75,000 laps or so on Talladega itself. That's really my strong suit. So I really feel good that if I can manage to keep myself out of trouble till then, I'm hoping to maybe get myself locked in with a win there, or at least have the best finish there. That's the track I'm really counting on to get in if I need it.
Hey, we're definitely looking forward to it. Glad to have you in the league, and best of luck here on your first start.
Oh yeah, y'all guys are great. It's the first league I've been in a couple years. Just really haven't found anybody I really like to enjoyed running with, but you guys are awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
So are we. That is Clayton Fry. You'll see him in the number 11 here shortly on the grid. Like he said, Atlanta not necessarily his best racetrack, but he's still confident, especially once we get to Talladega, and that's coming up sooner rather than later, really, in about 5 or 6 weeks. We'll be headed to the track, which can be a wild card at times. All right, we'll move on to our next pre-race interview here. We're going to go to number 28, another new face, Ian Nelson, Mad Dog Nelson, as he is better known. get his words here before we get started. Hey, Ian, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, well, it's your first start with us, and obviously you and Clayton kind of coming at the same time, so we asked him this question. I want to know what your expectations for yourself are tonight in your first start.
I'm hoping for a top 15 at least. Maybe a top 10.
Yeah, definitely pretty good expectations for you, and kind of as we go on here in the season, we got a little bit of ways to go to the playoffs, but a win and you're in. I mean, what are your expectations points-wise? I mean, do you see yourself in the playoffs once we get to the end of the regular season? Kind of take us through that.
Stick around and try to make it to the playoffs if I can. I know we're starting pretty late here, so we'll see what happens. Get some good runs in, see where I'm at towards the end there, towards the playoffs.
Well, yeah, definitely. It'll be exciting to watch you guys kind of get into it here starting this week and as we definitely move on from here. So want to wish you the best of luck tonight for you and your entire team, and we'll hope to talk to you soon.
Yep, I appreciate you guys joining. Let's have some fun tonight.
Yes, sir. So that's Ian Nelson, driver of the 28. You'll see him again in just a few minutes. He says looking for the top 10, top 15 range. Solid expectations. Ian's a good racer. He's got speed. He puts the work in, and he'll definitely see it pay off here as we start in round number 6 in just a few minutes. About 3.5 minutes to be exact. So it's enough time for a couple more. Hear from a couple more drivers, maybe 3 with the gridding time. So we'll kind of see what we can do here. We'll go next to the driver of the 58. You saw him qualify last night. Just like you did Clayton and Ian Nelson. And this is Jalen Parker. And I think I noted this in qualifying last night, but he wrecked the car off 4, but man, the lap he was running before it, you can tell this guy is going to be fast tonight. He's going to be a guy to watch. And I definitely want to see what kind of his expectations are as we get into it. So we'll get him in here. Hey, Jalen, it's the broadcast booth. You got me? Jalen Parker, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
I got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. So it's your first start with us. I was kind of talking about your qualifying effort. It looks like you've got a ton of speed, so kind of take us through it. I mean, what are your expectations tonight in your first go-around with us?
Yeah, qualifying, obviously you guys saw what happened, took down the outside wall. I was on a really fast lap, so I was, pretty happy with the speed in the car. But the good news is we got good long run speed. Me and my teammate Lucas both, we've been practicing a lot. So hopefully, by the end of stage 1, I can be in the top 10 and start moving towards the front. Might have to rely on a little bit of strategy just to kind of get the track position, because once the tires kind of get worn out, it's really hard to pass. So we might have to throw around some strategy, but yeah, we're definitely looking to get to the front pretty quick. That's the goal anyways.
Yeah, we'll be excited to kind of watch you and your teammate both work your way towards the front. Y'all definitely both have speed. And on that note, I mean, what are we looking at for expectations for points? I mean, can we expect that you guys will contend week in and week out?
Yeah, absolutely. It's my personal goal anyways, obviously joining the league pretty late. My personal goal is to get a win, get into the playoffs, and make a run at the championship. I'm super confident in tonight. The only thing is just going to be able to, if I can get from the back to the front. But I'm super confident as well, in 2 weeks at Watkins, but I'm pretty good on road courses. So my goal anyways is just to get into the playoffs, get a win, and I know I can do it. So that's the goal for the team, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely good to hear y'all's confidence. Well, we definitely want to wish you the best of luck tonight. We'll let you get back to it, and hopefully we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it much.
That's Jalen Parker in the 58. We'll see him here in just a minute or so. In fact, less than a minute till we get on the grid. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to stop the interviews there. We've got a couple more guys waiting, so we're going to get to them after the race, hopefully, and kind of get a word from them after their first start. So kind of a little bit of a unique perspective from a couple guys still, kind of get into the swing of things when it comes to running our league, and we'll kind of get focused on the race here as we get started. You haven't heard from him yet. I am joined, as per the usual, by Mr. Peyton Jennings, our league owner. Peyton, how are we doing tonight?
Pretty good. Just trying to finish up a little bit of a pre-race snack here, so I'm not running off trying to get some food in the middle, of the race. As usual, you know, it takes a lot of work to putting these things on. So normally I skip that until after the races for the day, but I got some good food waiting for me, so I'm just focusing on chowing down.
I get it. Treat yourself, obviously, you know. It's a good thing to do. So, all right, we're getting into it. 170 laps. Cars will start to take the grid. And based on qualifying last night, you saw that Adrian Piedra will be our pole sitter. And you'll get to see here pretty quick that this field is massive. There are a ton of cars and a ton of names that we have not seen, and a lot of guys that are going to have serious, possibly race-winning speed. I mean, you heard Jalen Parker talking about it a little bit in his interview, that he and his teammate Lucas Sylvester, who you'll see a little bit later, you saw them last flying efforts. You saw what happened to them, but they said they have long-run speed, and so it's going to be good to see them go at it and get to hear about all the individual storylines that we have tonight. We'll start to go. Yep. Oh, good. All right. Anyway, so we'll start to go through the grid here as they line up. Hopefully we'll get rolling in just a second. So you saw Adrian Piedra, he'll pull, and outside of him is going to be Alex Coffey in the 007. A little bit of a new look for him and his teammate John Curtis. That you'll see starting a little bit further back in the grid here. He's a new name. It's his first start. A good impression for him to start outside front row. Row number 2 will consist of a couple names you've seen already. Matthew Fleming and Jacob Hopp. They'll take up row number 2 in the 3rd and 4th position. Row number 3, last week's winner, Mason Hausman, locked himself in the playoffs with a win at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And he'll roll off tonight from P number 5. And outside of him, the Supreme Motorsports entry of DJ Thomas in the 20. Next row back, going to be Tyler Bentley in the 55 alongside the 12 of Justin Kane. 9th and 10th, going to be Luis Accardo in the 15 in his first start. And the 013 of Michael Lanfear in the Team Just Racing. Next row will consist of Brady Shue in the 9 out of Bentley Motorsport and John Curtis, teammate to Alex Coffey out of Runts Racing. Next row back there, you see Lucas Sylvester in the 85, teammate to Mr. Jalen Parker in the 58, who's starting a little bit further back in the Mountain Dew Baja Blast Toyota Camry. Next few cars back, Logan Ikra in the 13, he finished second last week. Don Milkowicz starts alongside him. We'll get to the rest as we go. Field off turn 4, we're going to take the green flag. It's Adrian Piedra leading us down, and we head for turn 1. So Piedra with a nice 2-car length jump out over the rest of the field here. As we head off into turn 1, headed to the first 2 corners, see if guys can handle themselves here. And yellow, ready.
Yeah, I see some guys wrecking back there in the back. Might have been somebody trying to take it 3 wide. That is very possible early on in this run.
It's going to be a tough break for possibly some new drivers or some experienced drivers. I mean, that's an early wreck, so we'll pace under our first caution of the night here early on in the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Go back here and take a look and see exactly what happened. Oh, it looks like our newcomer of Brandon Williams may have smacked the wall coming into turn 1 and collected quite a few fast guys that we normally see up to the front. Steve Korosek, I know for a fact, is one name in it. As well as, I believe, Griffin Williams might have been involved in it as well. And
that's gonna mark 2 straight rough starts to the week for Griffin Williams. He had a rough start to Bristol. Now he limped it home and got some points. So definitely not a worst case scenario, but not what he wanted. I'm sure it'll wreck on lap 1, and especially a lot of these guys that were kind of itching for an opportunity. And yeah, I'm seeing the replay now. Yep. Appears to be just kind of one of those deals, unfortunately, that you get at one of these 1.5 miles. We talked about it before. The new iRacing build makes it a little bit harder to race the way you used to, especially with so many cars on track. It's It's going to be tough here. So we'll see.
Especially for Brandon Williams. I mean, we all know, if you haven't been joining us for these, he is new to iRacing in general, as well as new to our league. So ran his first race with us last week at Bristol, and unfortunately for him, it's going to be a rough start for this one. But he'll take one of his 2 fast repairs that are given out, and I'm sure he'll go back out there and try to follow suit with the same kind of performance he had last week, where he just kind of takes it slow and doesn't get caught up in very many of those.
Though I will say that my scoring monitor here in front of me does show that 37 cars started the race and that 35 are still on the lead lap, but man, fast repairs are going to be tough to come by. Here, only on lap number 3. I mean, it's going to be tough for some guys. Luckily, early on, guys get a rhythm and try to figure it out, but a tough start to the night for guys that we expected to be pretty competitive. TJ Roberts was also on pit road. He's a guy I expected to run up front, got plagued by missing qualifying, ended up back near the back, and that's the result.
Always
So,
rough to
not
see
quite
that happen to
too
TJ.
good.
He normally runs a good race, but to have something like that happen to him again, I'm sure he may just back off a little bit here and play it more patiently, like he normally does, rely on his strategy as this race goes on, now missing one of those fast repairs.
Now, it's interesting, you kind of saw there probably at the front of your frame, as Jonathan Hammond exited pit road, he is missing the front end of that car, which indicates to me he is saving his fast repairs for a little bit later on in the event. So, I mean, maybe a strategy decision. Come back around, get some more repairs, not use the fast repairs right away. Save them for later. It could come in handy. We saw Tyler Bentley at the end of last week's race, with about 10 to go, came out with a fresh race car. He saved a fast repair till it mattered the most. Right now, obviously, if you're going to be so far back that you're not fighting for stage points, obviously, I mean, maybe a smart decision here from Hammond. He pulls off pit road. Brandon Williams, I think, is doing the same thing. So we'll re-rack. We should re-rack right here at the line. We'll see. Yep, Fleming moves the outside. That indicates we're going green next time by. We'll go green on lap number 6 of 170. So it's Piedra Fleming, the top 2 now.
Yeah, this will be an interesting restart. We see Adrian Piedra, the high side bandit there, followed by Matthew Fleming, a guy who's been really fast consistently over the past weeks, getting better and better. And then our last week's winner, Mason Hausman, right behind him. And not too far back, you see DJ Thomas has moved up into frame, as well as Tyler Bentley. So there's a couple of guys up here in this lead pack that are going to give the teammates of Piedra and Hop a run for their money here if they can't find out a way to work together.
Well, I'm definitely really curious as the newer drivers start to move through the field. I'm trying to see who of the new drivers gained a position on that first stint there. Ian Nelson gained a spot. Jalen Parker also gained a spot. Marcus Miller's up 2 spots. He's not a new name, but he's moving up the rankings already pretty early. 5-spot difference for Matthew Coker. A new face as well. He started deep in the field, 31st. 9 spots for Ethan Fournier early on. That's a new entry for CM Motorsports. Field off turn 4 in the hands of Adrian Piedra. We'll try it again. Green flags out. Attempt number 2. And start from the lane. Field heads for turn 1. It's another pretty decent jump for Adrian Piedra. He's trying to clear the 88 of Matthew Fleming. Does that. Mason Hausman is through to second on the bottom. So they fan out off turn 2 and head down the backstretch, headed for turn 3. Hausman looks high on Piedra going into 3. He wants the race lead.
Hey, Mason made us a guarantee that he was going to try to win that at the end of this one and at the end of every race. So I know he's trying to fight for every position he can on the racetrack and try to keep out in front of everybody.
I'm telling you right now, it's going to take quite a bit of speed to run down and pass Piedra. I mean, we saw him at Charlotte in his first start on the 1.5 miles. This guy is dominant. We'll see how long it takes him to start running his signature line. Typically, he runs up near the fence. That's what he does at Charlotte. We expect no less on a long run here. Let's see if we can get into one.
Yeah, you
Lap
get
number-
into those long runs. I'm expecting to see a couple of guys start drifting up the track. These tire wear, the way that the tire wears on these, wearing out that right rear tire on the bottom, these guys getting really loose. So.
And you see that right there, maybe the back of your frame. Griffin Williams slides off the racetrack. Louis Sicardo as well.
I believe I saw
Trying to run
Nathan
the bottom.
Bentley lose it back there and maybe hit somebody off into the apron. No caution. That might have been the 4K of Cody Harrelson he got into.
Yep, Harrelson, a guy we saw qualify last night. I was getting race chatter in my ear, and it was Harrelson. Harrelson's off the pace. He's on the backstretch. No caution. And Bentley not happy with a certain number 51 machine. We got a car on pit road as well. It's the 30 machine of Marcus Coker. There's Harrelson as the field goes by him on the outside. He'll go a lap down. A few cars a lap down already. Cody Griffith in the 43. Gavin Rogers in the 77. James Kubanek in the 24. And now Harrelson in the 04. Field's starting to fan out a little bit. Top 5 cars or so have broken away. Really, it's the top 3 and then the next 2. So we'll kind of let these guys settle it out up here and move back through the field, get some more storylines. There's Justin Kane. He's up to P6 already. He started 8th tonight.
The speed that he is running off the pace of the guys in front of him, I would be willing to bet that Justin Kane is trying to save his tires here.
I would not doubt it. It seems to be a pretty common strategy. Here you got DJ Thomas. He's sitting right now comfortably in 7th place. Oh, slider back there. That's Lucas Sylvester in the 85. So Tyler Bentley's behind him. And next up is the Bentley Motorsports teammate. That's Brady Jew. Well, actually, Michael Lanfear is going to find him here. Lanfear is still utilizing the bottom, trying to make some ground up. But at high line, you'll see as the race goes on, the tires wear is going to get better. And look at, man, Tyler Bentley's the first one to go way up high. His teammates following.
We know what his strategy is. Again, Tyler slow Bentley. Not slow because he's not a fast guy, but slow because it takes him a while to get up to speed. He's really looking for a long run here, and I think that's what he's doing with his tires running up that high on the track.
The battle is on here for the 8th position, I believe. It's Lanfear and Bentley. That battle will rage on here. Move back a little bit further, and there he is. There's Jalen Parker. Damage. Man, that 58 is flying through the field.
Yeah, really showing what he can do. We expected him to maybe have the pole position if he could have completed his lap, and he is dicing his way through this field, making it to the front with all of that speed that we saw him carrying in qualifying.
Oh, cars get a little bit close. Not quite. But yeah, back to what you were saying. Parker is seriously, he's got some speed, you can tell. And it's proven so far. He's up 12 spots in an 8-lap green flag run. Ricardo is there in 11th. Brady Shue settled in 12th. Don Milkowicz is 13th. Battles on for 13th between he and John Curtis. And as we go through a little bit here of the race, I'm beginning to hear complaints from drivers of maybe an overheating problem.
Oh my.
Which is surprising. We haven't had it all week, so kind of a strange thing there. Oh, a couple cars got together up there. It's Lanfear and a car.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of saw a little bit of contact there. Now with the overheating issue, it could just be that how hot this track is. It is very hot and humid down here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for today's race, and with all these guys running close together, running the same line, kind of drafting off of each other, I wouldn't be surprised to see some guys have to start managing temps.
So we put lap 16 on the board. Nice little green flag run they're getting into here. There's Clayton Fry. Sitting in his 15th spot there. That's where he started the race from. Good to see him hanging in. Sylvester and McGill, that battle's on for the 16th position. Sylvester kind of dropping back a little bit. There you see Steve Korosek in the 27th. Falling in behind these guys, started 30th. He's up to 18th after getting involved in the first incident. So he's making his way to the front of the field. Go a little bit further back, trying to get to all the storylines here of the new drivers we have before we focus back up to the front. Oh, Korosek slides up the racetrack. Hold off on that. Next car back's Logan Eaker. He finished second last week at Bristol, his career best finish. He's hoping for more. He's kind of logged back here in the field, right around mid-pack in 19th. Ian Nelson is holding on to a top 20 spot right now, still early, biding his time. Marcus Miller just outside the top 20. He's up to 21st from his starting spot of 25th. Paul Ferdiani, next car back, battling with Griffin Williams there for the 22nd spot. Next couple cars back is the Bentley Motorsports car of Ron Holmes and the 31 of Matt Coker. He's starting to make his way up through the field. He's up 6 spots, making 7 spots as he goes by Holmes there. 4th. There's Gavin Rogers. He's stuck a lap down, but he is the first car a lap down. So, if nothing else, if he can hold on to being 1 lap down and being the first car a lap down, you get the lucky dog at the stage caution. There you see Jonathan Hammond. He does now have a front end on that car, so I don't know if he maybe forgot his fast hooker the first time, or if something went wrong, or I don't know, but he's got it now, so.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he was trying to take optional repairs and decided he couldn't get enough done in time.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. Next car back here is Tanner Brooks, and the number 1, oh, he's marked as the 24 probably on your screen. He is the number 1 on the score sheet. And there's Ethan Fournier. We talked about him a little bit earlier. We'll kind of get back towards the front of the field here.
Yeah, I've noticed if you guys have been, if you have looked at your map, the track map that we have pulled up, Adrian Piedra has gotten a serious lead on the rest of the guys behind him. Now, I don't know if that's just because he is running it all out and everyone behind him saving tires, or if he has just put enough laps in on this track, he's got it completely figured out, but he is having no trouble at all driving away.
Oh, I kind of expected it. He's very, very good at the 1.5 miles. So, definitely not out of the ordinary for him to be so well so early on, but he does control the field. Like I was talking about, lots to talk about, and put another thing on that list is Gavin Rogers in the 77, no longer the lap down, belongs to Nathan Bentley now.
Yeah, and with Piedra having a long way to go to get up to the next car in line, Bentley may be in kind of a safe spot as we look to be coming close to lap 25. Now, this is going to be exactly halfway in between, or for our first stage break, so I would expect to maybe see a couple guys who are wanting to get some position later on in this race and later on in the stage think about starting to pit.
Tell you a guy, a new face that we were going to talk to before the race, has brought his machine to pit road. That's the 97 of Jason Waller. So we're pitting a little bit early, whether that be for strategy or an unscheduled pit stop. Kind of remains to be seen. A little bit of a change in the running order up front. Fleming has dropped from 2nd to 4th. Hausman's up back up to 3rd, but Jacob Hopp, the RRE teammate to Adrian Piedra, is now running RRE 1-2 right now in Atlanta. You knew they were going to be fast, and they put the work in. I mean, you can tell during the week what teams put the work in the most. It's paying off for them. You can tell already just how much of a lift these guys have to have in the corners. Piedra's lifting off of it quite a bit as he leads. We'll move back here and look at some battles. There's Waller in the 97. First battle is for 3rd. Matt Fleming going around Hausman in the 17 for the 3rd position. Looks like Hausman's going to try to slide up in that hole between himself, or between Fleming and Kane, but Kane switches him up, goes to the outside. That's for a spot in 4th.
It looks like Justin Kane may have finally decided to give it a little bit of full throttle there. He's made up quite a few positions here in this past little laps. And,
slides that thing off turn 2.
You can definitely tell he's driving it a little bit harder.
And still got inside of Matthew Fleming for P3. Justin Kane's on the move right now.
Might have been a little contact behind them between Coffey and Hausman there, too.
Maybe it's a little bit minor contact. Got a buff out. So move Kane to 3rd, Fleming to 4th, Coffey to 5th, Hausman to 6th. So begs the question, did Mason maybe use a little bit too much of his tires here early in a run? Holy cow, what a run for Justin Kane to get back around Matthew Fleming. Fleming mounted a challenge in turn 1. Could there. So now move Hausman to 6th. He's under fire, though, from our points leader, Tyler Bentley, who extended his points lead to 20 this past week in Bristol.
Ooh, a little bit of a block there.
Can't expect any less out of him, I don't think.
If I'm Tyler, I'm a little bit concerned right now, though. You get two Bentley Motorsports cars side by side. That never ends good.
Definitely not. Especially the Bentley brothers, ironically enough. And you got to think Mason and Tyler are starting to look in their mirror, because here comes the 58. He's up to 8th and moving quick.
Yeah, he's definitely showing the speed that he had in qualifying, like we were saying before, and he's showing the ability here to stay consistently fast over a long run. He may give some of these guys a little bit of a run for their money whenever it comes to late in the race with the way he's made it through the field.
Well, and it's interesting to think that just a few weeks ago we were talking about another rookie Toyota driver driving through the field to the front, ended up leading the most laps in that race. He's leading right now, and a caution's out.
I see Matthew. Oh, let's see. I just see a Matthew here. I'm not sure if it's Fleming. I don't think it is Fleming. I think it is Matthew Coker who has crashed. Ooh.
Ooh, yeah, the engine's smoking pretty bad on the 31 machine. So we'll see who else was involved in this. Maybe James Kubinek in the 24.
It might have just been a solo crash. We're going to go back here and take a little bit of a look at it here.
Wreck here. I don't see any damage on either of these machines back here. Damage on TJ Roberts, but I think he might have pulled the same strategy as Hammond did and actually went through with it and took the optionals, waiting to get a little bit later in the race for using those fast repairs.
Oh, it looks like he was put into the inside wall by Logan Eaker after he had a little bit of a contact. Maybe gotten a bad push by Steve Korosek there. That's where that damage came from.
I'm trying to figure out who's going to be the lucky dog here. He said Eaker was involved in the wreck. Oh my goodness, I'm seeing the replay just now. It is delayed for me. I do it now. Wow, hard wreck on the back straightaway. So you said Eaker was involved. Okay, so I would assume that if iRacing still gives the lucky dog, it's going to go to Nathan Bentley in the 6. I would assume other cars would start to take the freeway round. That'd be Gavin Rogers, Marcus Coker, James Kubinek, Jason Waller, Marcus Miller, Cody Griffith, and Cody Harrelson. As cars hit pit road for the first time today.
Yeah, you know, these two teammates up here at front, Adrian Piedra and Jacob Hopp, are really enjoying this. They already had a large lead on everybody. Now they don't have to worry about making a green flag pit stop, giving up any positions. And they're going to be able to get fresh tires, enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage, and be out ahead.
I saw the 15 of Accardo. He beat him off pit road. Now I'm wondering, I don't know. I'm wondering if maybe he missed his pit box. But I can't tell. So I don't know. We're going to find out, though.
After looking here at our pit stop strategy for the pit time, it does seem like he has missed his pit box, and I'm expecting to see him come back around and enter the pits.
He'll be scored as the leader for now, but yeah, he'll pit probably next time by.
Might be a little bit of a late race strategy there, get an extra lap out as well. Unfortunately, in iRacing, if you do not enter the pits on the first pass, it will not allow you to pit any consecutive laps, so might be a thing that we've seen before with some guys where they'll drive down pit lane the first time, get out in front, and then take a secondary pit stop, drop to the back, and kind of save their stuff for the late race.
And there you go. There you see Accardo pit. Multiple wave around cars pit as well. Now hand lead back over to Adrian. It's a little bit of a dash here to the end of the stage. So we'll have about probably 17 laps to go, and we go back green for the win. It's Piedra. I am? Let me try this. Yep. Let me try this. So we should have 17 laps to go to the end of the stage when we get back green. We'll re-rack the field here in about a lap, and the wave around cars do get a chance to get a lap back.
Yeah, not too much of a shakeup from the running that we saw. However, I did notice that I believe Jalen Parker may have lost a handful of positions there in that pit stop, so might have opted to go with either a little bit more fuel or maybe take an extra set of tires than what some of the guys in front of him have. But he's definitely dropped at least 2 positions from where we last saw him.
I don't think it's a big concern for him, judging by how much speed he had on that first run. I mean, he is flying. This actually, with him closer to the front, gives him a better chance to hop some more positions, get in position for some good stage points, and at the very least, get a good point stay out of today. It's pretty clear he's fast, but he's having to work through the field. But once he gets up here, it's gonna be interesting. We'll see what kind of speed he's got compared to our leader, Piedro, who is clearly extremely fast.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I see also Sylvester looks to be like he dropped back about 2 positions. So I would say about 2 positions apiece. Now that could obviously be pit box position as well. But we did hear from Jalen before the race saying that they were thinking about long-term strategy. So I'm wondering if maybe the guys out in front only filled up enough to get to the end of the stage, and they're planning on pitting again if these 2 have decided to take a full tank and maybe stay out after the stage break, get some track position, and then mix it up a little bit with their pit strategy compared to everybody else.
So the field has re-racked. It's Piedra and Hop row 1, Kane and Coffee row 2, Fleming and Tyler Bentley row 3, row 4 is Mason Hausman and Clayton Fry. Great pit stop for the 11. DJ Thomas and Jalen Parker, that's row number 5. John Curtis, Don Milkowicz, row number 6. Row number 7 is Clint McGill and Michael Lanford, the teammates, and for the rest a little bit later. Green flag. 17 laps to go in stage number 1. A good start for Piedra and Justin Kane.
After qualifying, some of the Justin Kane fans out there in our chat were saying they don't know how they could stand for his inconsistency and how he was starting in 7th place instead of up near the front, but he's definitely made his way up there now.
Yeah, no surprise at all. Obviously, our Charlotte race winner locked in the playoffs because of his run there at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Beat John Gallagher on an amazing last lap.
Oh, and just as we were talking about him,
car spinning, it was Kane, Justin Kane. No, the 12.
Somebody's around!
Oh my goodness, Clayton Fry, a terrible crash.
Oh, and it looks like Tyler Bentley just got Marcus Millered.
Marcus Miller's in it. Brandon Williams is in it.
Yeah, quite a few guys.
Oh, this is a big wreck.
That's what happens up at the
car
front.
looks to be pretty okay. I mean, it may have just gone for a spin.
We'll go back and take a look here and see exactly how everything's stacked
How
up.
in the world is that car still driving? Clayton Fry, my goodness, you saw him come barrel rolling through the front stretch grass. He'll take the time to get 4 tires, might as well.
We're going to look here. Justin Kane gets loose. Oh, just barely misses DJ Thomas. And then, it seems like he is not involved in any contact. Might have been a little bit of a lockup behind.
All right, here we go. I'm getting to see it now, so. Woo! Wow, that's as close as you can get for the 20. And, yeah, just a chain reaction. Well, oh my, there comes the 11. 33 of Ron Holmes is in it as well. Tyler Bentley's in it. Marcus Miller is in it. Jason Waller is in it. Well, Jason Waller's not in it. Sorry, he came to a stop. I don't think Griffin Williams is in it either.
Oh, wow. It looks like it may have been caused by our points leader, Tyler Bentley, locking up the brakes on the high side, getting into Clayton, sending him down the track. And then we have a little bit of contact between the 85 and the 55, and then once this much smoke gets out onto the track, it's kind of just hold the brake and pray that you don't end up running into a car. And we see TJ Roberts absolutely sends Clayton upside down. I really don't know how that car made it. I believe, too, the 51 may get into him here as well. Yeah, a little bit of contact there. Wow, Ron Holmes really hard into the inside wall. See the 43 also get involved in it. That was definitely a large crash. very unfortunate for a lot of guys there. Some guys may be having to take their second and final fast repair, so it'll be interesting to see how that shakes things up in terms of how aggressive we see some of the guys in the back of the field. But those restarts are going to be killer at this track. There's a lot of grip, and especially after coming into pit on cold tires with the humidity that this track is at right now, it makes it very difficult to get grip. So if we see guys coming into pit and coming out with fresh tires really pushing the car, I expect to see that maybe a couple more times in this race.
So it'll be about 11, maybe 12 laps to go here once we re-rack and get them going again to the end of stage number 1. Still Piedra and Fleming out front. They were going to have a pretty good battle there, I think. Fleming had made it to the outside right as Kane started to spin. So
yeah, I'm looking at the weather for the first time pretty much all year that we've been doing this, or for the past 6 or 5 races. We're actually seeing the temperature start to raise a little bit. You notice the sun's kind of out on the track a little bit more now, and the humidity is actually going up. So that overheating problem you were talking about before may start to get a little bit worse as we go on later in this stage, if it continues to trend in the upward position.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Track temp has come down just a little bit from what it started at. About 85 degrees was track temp with the green flag. So we'll re-rack the field here. Going to grid on lap 39. It'll be Piedra and Fleming front row again. Hausman and Hop row 2. DJ Thomas and Alex Coffey row 3. Jalen Parker and John Curtis on row number 4. Clint McGill and Steve Korsek row number 5. Don Milkowicz and Michael Lanfear make up row number 6. Ian Nelson and Jonathan Hammond make up row number 7. Tanner Brooks and Paul Ferdiani row number 8. Louis Sicardo and Matt Coker, that's row number 9. Lucas Sylvester and Griffin Williams round out our top 20. Tyler Bentley and TJ Roberts are row 11. Justin Kane, Gavin Rogers are row 12. As we get ready to go back to green with 12 laps to go in stage number 1. Green flag for Piedra. Pretty good jump, headed for turn 1. It's going to look to clear the 88. A little bit of a blinking problem there for Mason. We'll see if it gets it cleared up. It's pretty rough. It's really rough.
Yeah, we'll give him a little bit of time and see if he can figure out how to fix it.
Spinning.
I believe that's Paul Ferdiani. Oh, Griffin Williams hard.
Griffin Williams is in the wall.
Oh, there's still a couple guys wrecking.
66 of Ferdiani as the car I saw out of shape.
Yeah, I see Paul Ferdiani, Tanner Brooks, and Griffin Williams as the only ones who made serious contact.
Lucky to escape with mostly a 3-car wreck, but
yeah, right around in that hornet's nest of a pack is going to be a tough place to be at. If you're not up here in the front, it can really cause some issues in terms of a guy getting loose and spinning.
It's bad. It's really bad. Oh, no. Oh, it's rough. Huh? Wait. Oh, I was going to say don't say anything. You are not being heard anywhere. Okay.
We'll go back there and see exactly what happened with that yellow flag real quick. Oh, might have been a little bit of contact there from what I see between, I believe that is the 31 of Matt Coker and Paul Ferdiani that got him a little bit loose. Now, I'm not going to say that was exactly what happened. It could have easily just been netcode. We'll go and get a little bit of a closer look at it. iRacing, for some of these guys, you get enough of these cars on track, it doesn't necessarily like it. Oh, it's the 31, my bad, of, I believe that is still Matt Coker. We'll watch it back here. Well, he may have gotten up into him there a little bit, but that's just one of those racing things. You're trying real hard, like I said, on these fresh tires, and that's what you kind of can get from it.
I am being asked about a possible penalty for that wreck. I haven't seen it.
No, that was definitely just a racing thing there. No reason for any of that to go on. It's hard on these fresh tires, like we were just talking about. Justin Kane losing it there. Sometimes the car gets really loose, sometimes the car slides up the track, but definitely no intentional wrecking there. I don't think anybody wants to tear up any cars this early on in the race.
Oh man, he hasn't figured it out yet. It's still huh? Wait. Alright. I think he may have figured it out. We're trying to solve a blinking problem. Some people solve a drinking problem, we're solving a blinking problem. One thing I can tell you, while I was a little bit silent there, I was listening between race chatter and obviously trying to figure out the wreck and figuring out what's happening with our current second place driver, Hausman. So, I can tell you, from what I heard on the race chatter, we're 43 laps in. You'd think it was the last lap, the way some of these guys are angry. So, it's a pattern in this league, I think. We always have somebody mad at somebody. We saw a bunch last week, but temper's flaring. 43 laps in here in Atlanta.
Hey, that's just mile-and-a-half racing.
Yeah. It's our mile-and-a-half race, I can tell you that much. All 3 mile-and-a-halfs we've been to.
Everybody at the end of the day wants to earn themselves $5 here, so. Oh, now we see DJ Thomas starting to blink. Hopefully it'll get solved. I've noticed that Mason's blinking issue is kind of even itself out.
Significantly better, I will say that.
I wouldn't be surprised if DJ Thomas was tabbed out there, seeing as how he is typing in our YouTube chat somehow.
Oh, wow. So front row is still Piedra and Hausman. And Fleming and Hop are row number 2. Thomas is 5th right now, and Jalen Parker is up to 6th. Pace car is off. 7 laps to the side of our stage. 1 winner. Wow. Well, a good start for Mason. He blinks a little bit. But Hausman's there. So Hausman is to the outside of the 78 of Piedra, but man, that's 78. That's some good drive, and there's
another caution. See Paul Ferdiani in it again, I believe.
First number right here on the race shadow was 34. That'd be Marcus Miller.
Oh, excuse me, I was looking at the wrong one. I see Cody Harrelson actually involved in that one. So we'll go back and take another look.
We're going to go ahead and take down live scoring, I think, for when that caution came out. We're going to try to decide here. With the laps left, I'm trying to think how many laps it takes to pace. I'm trying to think if we can have a shootout here to the end of the stage, or if that's going to be it. 2-lap shootout? All right. Sounds good to me. I'm always down for a good little shootout for the stage.
If we can go back here, I can't seem to find the caution. We'll try this one more time and see if we can get it brought up for you, but I think if it doesn't work this time, we may have to call it a no contest and try to figure it out later on. Ah, there we go.
So
we
should have a shootout for stage 1. We should. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I do not know exactly what Marcus Miller was trying to do. I mean, we do call him dirt, but
whoa!
he drives it in hard into the back of the 97.
Crash. Oh my goodness!
Into the wall. A couple other guys getting caught up in it. Maybe innocent cars. Does Clayton get through? Oh my! I believe Clayton drove right through the smoke without hitting anything other than some pieces of rubber flying off these cars. That was absolutely insane.
Derek Preston style.
First lap bandit, and I quote, I think I went through him like I was Jesus or something.
Oh man. So we should get 2 laps here to figure out the stage results. So we'll hopefully get a little bit of green flag and a 2-lap shootout to decide our $5 winner in stage 1.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for a couple of guys there, but with this stage coming to a close and a lot of new guys, a lot of new faces in the league, I think that's what really comes down to how we're seeing some guys get crashed here. It's a lot of guys who aren't used to racing with each other, kind of getting caught up in stuff that they're not expecting with some of our regulars here so far.
So I've received word there is some kind of error. Maybe guys too many fast repairs. I don't know how. I have no idea how we're going to be able to monitor that with 2 of us watching, but we'll figure it out, I'm sure. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, we should get 1 to go next time. We'll have 2 laps to go in stage number 1. We'll kind of go through a little bit further of the order now. So still, Piedra and Hausman is going to be row number 1. Matt Fleming and DJ Thomas will be row number 2. Jacob Hopp and Jalen Parker make up row number 3. So Parker in a good spot for stage points, but he definitely wants more, I'm sure. Alex Coffey is 7th. John Curtis is 8th. So the teammates there from Runts Racing on row number 4. Steve Korosek is 9th. Michael Lanfear is 10th. So that's going to be your stage point battles right there around Korosek, Lanfear, Jonathan 11th. Clint McGill is 12th. Don Mikulewicz is 13th. So some guys that could use some points. Here as we go on in the season, Luis Ricardo there, 15th. Gavin Rogers is back up to 16th. Lucas Sylvester is Ethan Fournier is 17th. Lucas Sylvester is 18th.
We're getting ready to go green here. We're having Dawson handle a little bit of race control. You see Piedra and Mason Hausman get kind of an equal start there, both being pushed by some fast guys we've seen all day. You see the 88 of Matthew Fleming following Piedra right behind him. He's really wanting to get Piedra out ahead, I think, and slide into the bottom line there to get a pass.
And back, Hausman looks top. He's trying to top line. Oh, Piedra throws a block to the bottom of Fleming there. Piedra slides up, trying to block Hausman off 4. Hausman's got to run. He's white flag in stage 1. We got a fight on our hands for the stage win. Oh, Mason blinked out a little bit there. Oh, he blinked out again.
Oh, a little bit of contact.
Holds it off the wall, holds it off the wall. Field going around him.
I think that's going to give Piedra a clear shot at this thing. Unless somehow Matthew Fleming can get up there.
Caution. So that's going to actually work as our stage caution. So it'll be Piedra in stage number 1. We'll have to figure out stage results from the time of caution. That's going to be something we do a little bit later. Can tell you for sure that Piedra was the stage winner. Fleming, Hop, Thomas, and Parker, that's the top 5 for sure. They were single file, so...
Yeah, I believe we got an accurate scoring here based on the names I see in the crash. So after Parker, we've got Coffey, Korosek, Curtis, Hausman, and Hammond as our stage finishers.
There you go. So Parker, Coffey, and Curtis. Good start. Jalen Parker especially. He's in good position here to chase down Piedra in stage 2 and maybe get up there and contend.
So that means for our third ever Spectre Stage Award by JCB Excavation, $5 winner is going to be Adrian Piedra for the first time we've seen him so far be able to snag that $5. I think he might be going for that Dale Earnhardt hat. See a couple of guys now hit pit road. As expected, we were going to see a little bit of that. We're going to take this time to go back and watch caution.
A little bit of something race chatter, just a quick thing. Pit road policies, I don't think we ever clarified whether or not guys can drive down the side of pit road. What? Yep.
We're going to, while he's figuring that out and we're getting guys off pit road, we're going to go back and see exactly what caused that caution. Hopefully be able to pull it up on screen for you.
Yeah. We'll get everything sorted out.
There we go, and we got it back here through the field. Oh, it looks like Clint McGill may have pinched Don Milkowicz, sending Gavin Rogers back up. Oh, in front of Tyler Bentley, who absolutely got packed into by Griffin Williams. Ron Holmes involved in it, Clayton Fry involved in it. A couple
Eric
of other
Clayton
guys.
say the engine expired on that machine, so no luck this time. I'm surprised. It drives after a flip, but not after that crash. So, I don't know. Kind of interesting.
Unfortunate for those guys involved in it. Rough day so far, it looks like, for Tyler Bentley. Points leader is going to be under fire here. Some of these guys running around this top 5 spot. Top 10 are guys who are really close to him in points.
Yeah, some guys who are in really good points positions. So we'll kind of go through the field here as we get ready to get it back going. 2 cars actually scored in front of the leaders, so either did not pit or some kind of scoring error, and they are Justin Kane and TJ Roberts.
I believe I am looking at it.
Scored 1 too.
It looks like Justin Kane took an early pit stop and has ended up out in front on 8-lap old tires. And then as well, Roberts, again, playing with pit strategy here. He's on a 12-lap run, so he may have figured something out that the other guys haven't so far.
I mean, what I'm thinking is get a similar caution to stage 1 about halfway into the stage and hit with the leaders. Then you're on the same strategy and you gain a ton of track position in a pretty good spot in the race. So we'll get going here in stage 2 in just a second. We'll kind of re-rack the field for you. So Kane and Roberts are the front row. It's Piedra and Fleming, row 2. Thomas and Coffey, row 3. Jalen Parker and Steve Korosek make up row number 4. Jacob Hopp and Jonathan Hammond make up row number 5. John Curtis and Mason Hausman are row 6. Ethan Fournier and Michael Lanfear are row number 7. Matt Coker and Nathan Bentley, row number 8. Lucas Sylvester and Paul Ferdiani, row number 9. Rounding out the top 20, Brady Shue and Clint McGill.
I've reading our chat here. I'm seeing some Piedra and Kane fans talking amongst each other, trying to figure out if they're rivals. I think it's yet to be seen. It seems like one of them gets taken out every other race, so we haven't really seen them do too much against each other.
Green flag in stage number 2. It's Kane and Robertson. Roberts got huge restart. I'm trying to listen to race chatter at the same time. All right, so as we come off turn number 2 here on lap number 55, got a battle for the lead. Oh, car's bouncing around back.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a
Oh my
wild
goodness,
restart.
look at this. Are we going to go 3 wide for the lead? We're going to go 3. Of course we are. Kane drifting up. Roberts all the way rim riding the top.
Oh, TJ Thomas just jumped through the air!
TJ did a jump. Did he save the car? Oh, he must not have.
Oh my!
Oh,
he did!
He did! Oh, they're wrecking behind him, though. They're wrecking behind him.
Oh my!
We're wrecking. We're under caution.
Oh, I see Nathan Bentley in this one. I know there's going to be some words coming out of this. Nathan Bentley, Ian Nelson.
Oh, yeah. 6 car. Ian Nelson. Yeah, there you go. Ian Nelson. Engine's starting to give out on that machine. Ron Holmes, I believe, is also in it. Yep, he's missing a front end.
Oh, wow. Nathan Bentley took the same jump. Oh, couple of guys are opting to go the rallycross route with these cup cars and jump over the grass.
Well, I'm watching it now. Hold on, give me just a second. Oh, wow. Oh, he was not quite as lucky, and he gets finished off.
Trying to see exactly what happened here. Oh, there's the two that we've talked about week in and week out.
I mean, I can only guess. Got to be McGill and Bentley, right?
It would be Michael Lanphier.
Oh, okay.
And Nathan Bentley.
Okay,
Lanphier gets a little bit loose, gets into Nathan, and then Nathan hits the jump sideways and loses it up on the track. So I know that this radioactive will be interesting.
I knew it had to have been one of them. Can't say enough, really, about that battle for the lead we had right before. And TJ Roberts rim riding the top, pulls ahead of Piedra and Justin Kane to retain the race lead. And on 15-lap old tires now or so, he controls the field. So we talked about him at Vegas. We talked about him at Charlotte. Really, every race he's been in, he is near the front. He is good at strategy, I can tell you that much. He is very, very good at figuring out what to do and when to do it on the pit lane. So a good decision here, starting to pay off for him. We'll see if the leaders pit. I don't think they're going to. I can tell you one driver has called it a night. It's Marcus Coker.
It's unfortunate. I know he's a new guy, one of the younger guys that we have in the league, but hopefully his luck will take an upswing from here. Normally the guys who we have joining in for their first race, unsure about how the racing is going to go between some of the guys up front, some of our regulars, ends up getting them in a little bit of trouble there, and I'm sure that's what's happened to him. I noticed he was in a couple of our early incidents, so very unfortunate to see for him, but we hope to see him next week at Chicagoland, where maybe he can go out and put on a show, get a qualifying lap in, and do something amazing for us.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be good to see what he can do. Other cars laps down. Obviously, just talked about Marcus Coker on an early night, so not his first start that he definitely wanted. But hopefully he can rebound from it. Hopefully learned a little bit here in the 45 laps he got on track. Cody Griffith is 7 laps down in 36th. I know he is still running. Every other car in the field, so 36 cars still running, 28 on the lead lap. So Griffith is 7 down. Cody Harrelson is 5 laps down. Gavin Rogers 2 down. Clayton Fry, Jason Waller, James Kubanek also 2 laps down. 2 cars a lap down. Ian Nelson and Ron Holmes.
So it seems you have a little bit of a question here. Do you think Kane can make it big in iRacing? All he does is burn rubber, but he's behind on his rent payments. I don't want to evict him.
He's behind on his rent payments. Oh, it's terrible.
It's unfortunate for Justin Kane, but considering he has a Bet MGM car, maybe iRacing isn't his issue.
I think I know where his rent payments are going, and I know they're not going to iRacing.
It is March Madness time. Maybe he had a busted bracket.
In all seriousness, no, Justin Kane's got good speed. If that's what it requires to pay his rent payments, I think he could do it.
I would lean on the side of he would be pretty good. He's ice cold gambling. I guess that answers that question. Bet on Michigan last night. Mason Hausman has joined us with a little bit of a teardrop. I'm unsure what that means for him, but Mason, why don't you get to the front instead of typing in the chat like DJ? You see how it ended up for him. Lights are off on the pace car. We'll be going green this time by. Dawson, I'm sure, is busy taking care of a little bit of extra duty this week with race control. You notice we have a lot more cars, a lot more names, a lot of new guys, so it's a little bit tough on him. Trying to do my best to help him, but obviously I am not the best at this. You normally hear me for pit strategy and a little bit of wild comments here. Green flag as they come out. It looks like a drag race down the front stretch to the line. Justin Kane gets a little bit of a better restart with Piedra behind him. He might have a little bit of a better running mate than having TJ Roberts lined up with Matt Fleming. As I say that, they take it 3 wide. It looks like Piedra's trying to get to that high line.
I'll take over for you right here. We go 3 wide down the back stretch. Can't tell you, Ron Holmes has called it a night. Some issues for him there for his race. Oh, they were getting close right back there around Piedra. This is not what Piedra wants to see. Oh, man, they are all over the racetrack back here. 3 wide hop. Piedra and Korsek. Korsek rim riding the outside.
Yeah, one benefit Piedra has is a teammate to his inside. 4 wide? Oh, they were looking for it.
Piedra is trying to stay out of the fray. Wow, that had to have been tense moments there for Adrian Piedra.
I know one person who was sitting there waiting for a crash is Mason Hausman right behind those guys.
Back up to the front, still TJ Roberts controlling the field.
Hey, these are 2 guys we see have a little bit of an on-track battle every week, and now they're doing it for the front position, so it'll be interesting to see how they go.
See how TJ's run pans out for him. Obviously, his strategy right now to get him up front. He is a little bit behind cycle. Oh, car loose back there. I can't tell who that was.
Yeah, what a run for some of these guys up here. TJ Roberts up 26 spots. Jalen Parker up 19 spots. You see him knocking on the door for second place. And Steve Korsek in 5th, up 25 positions.
The battle I had looked forward to after hearing how guys expected Atlanta to go is Jalen Parker and Piedra. So you see Piedra diving in on the inside, right, trying to get around Parker. You gotta think he may have either heard the words of Parker before the race, or and he sees the speed the 58 has. He's trying to get around him. It's going to be awfully tough on that bottom line, though. You can see, look at Parker carries so much speed around the middle.
Oh, dives across the nose.
What a move by Jalen Parker.
Oh, he's showing.
Inside of Matt Fleming.
He's showing.
He's Roberts. Battle on for the race lead between Jalen Parker and Roberts. Korsek loose and may bounce off the wall. So Roberts continues to lead in the caution zone. Right as Parker looked to be getting a good run off and get to the back bumper of the 3.
See Cody Harrelson and James Kubanek in it, as well as maybe Nathan Bentley. I see he went off track here. We'll have to see that, but TJ may be thinking he might want to pit here and get some new tires with the guys knocking on the door as what they are.
Boy, Jalen Parker, that move off forward to almost push it 3 wide for the race lead. That is gutsy in your first start. An absolutely incredible move there by driver the 58. And he and Piedra, man, you can tell they're going to have a battle. Along with, Roberts is fast, Fleming is fast. We got a lot of guys in the field that have a lot of speed.
Oh, no.
Trying to harness. Some cars pit, some cars don't. Oh, now Fleming comes down. I saw Fleming trying to stay out.
So in terms of the caution, oh yeah, Nathan Bentley, it may be a night for him, missing a front end on that car. It looked like Paul Ferniani maybe got loose, caught the wall, caught Don Milkowicz on the way down. I see the 43 has no hood on that car. Tyler and Nathan Bentley both involved. It does look like Cody Harrelson was involved a little bit in that crash as well. I'm not sure about the 24, if that damage is from before and maybe he's just not worked on the front end of that car, or if he got into the rear of Cody Harrelson.
I'm going to break in here real quickly and tell you that we did have a car stay out under this caution, so we got a new leader. And there you see him. Alex Coffey stays out. He's risking strategy. Going to see what he can get out of it here. I don't think anybody else stayed out. Oh, we did have another car stay out. Clint McGill stayed out. He's P2. Strategy, strategy, strategy. Starts to play out here as we get closer to halfway.
Yeah, no, these guys are on 15-lap old tires. That's about comparable to what we saw some of the guys up front last time have. And they did manage to make it kind of a fight for the lead. So with a couple more laps to go, I know these guys are probably thinking about when they're going to have to pit before the end of this stage. But it'll be interesting to see how they're going to go about managing their cars for the rest of this race. Of course, a couple of guys stuck behind a few other people who just pit on fresh tires.
I'm telling you, this is going to be quite a restart. So we're going to have some scrambling going on here as we got some fresh tire cars behind some cars without them. So we will line up this way when we go back green here in a couple. Alex Coffey stayed out, filling here at the race lead. Clint McGill will move all the way to second. Luis Accardo is third, so he missed his pit marks last time, decides just not to pit this time. And fourth is Brandon Williams in the 40.
Trying to get some screen time in that John Deere Chevy. So I know right now he's going to be talking to his son saying, you know, I was a lot farther up in the race than you ever have been.
Oh, wow.
I definitely can say that will be an interesting conversation between both of the Williams.
For what it's worth, Griffin is running 20th right now, so we'll see as the race pans out where he ends up and where Brandon ends up.
I know they're both probably hunting for a top 10 finish here, so
those four stayed out. So, I mean, it's you're going to be looking in your mirror, and I'll tell you what, the next 5 or 6 cars, that's... Oh, man. So, row number 3 will look like this. It'll be Jalen Parker. He got off pit road first. Matthew Fleming beat Piedra off pit road. So, row 4 will be Piedra and TJ Roberts. Hausman and Hopp are row number 5. They're 9th and 10th. Matthew Coker, he's made his way through the field. He's Justin Kane is 12th. Jonathan Hammond and Steve Korosek, they're 13th and 14th. Tanner Brooks and Lucas Sylvester make up row number 8, 15th and 16th. DJ Thomas is 17th. Ethan Fournier 18th. John Curtis 19th. Griffin Williams rounds out the top 20.
Looking at
Marcus
pit
Miller,
strategy.
21st. Don Milkowicz, 22nd. Logan Eaker, 23rd. Brady Shue, 24th. Paul Ferdiani, 25th. Nate Bentley, 26th. Ian Nelson, 27th. And Michael Lanfear, the last car on the lead lap in 28th. First car lap down is the points leader. And the rest of the cars are 2 or more laps down, and we've gone through them already.
Now looking at this pit time here, it does seem like Piedra had a little bit longer of a pits time, so he may have slid through his box a little bit. Definitely gave some of these faster guys in the field a chance to get out in front of him.
Pace car is off. Here we go. Restart on lap 70. Oh, Brandon Williams did not go. He did not go. The 40 is slow on the outside. 3 wide. Look at Parker passing the grass. He's got 2 tires in the infield grass. That car is on rails. Jalen Parker, are you kidding me? Left side's in the grass. He's right to the back bumper of the 007. Battle for the race lead. Crash.
Oh! A little bit of contact between DJ Thomas.
No, he may not missed him. Kane and they're wrecking. And I don't think...
Oh. Parker, I don't think he got there, but starting on the outside is going to give him an advantage here if Alex Coffey doesn't decide to take it. Oh, my.
Oh, we got a parking lot.
Names that I see involve Paul Ferdiani, Ethan Fournier, DJ Thomas, Lucas Sylvester, Brady Shue, Korosek,
Lanfear,
Clayton Fry.
Bentley, Cody Griffith.
We're going to have to see exactly what happened there. I do see that Steve Korsick, Logan Ikra, and Gavin Rogers have jumped to the pits. So they're getting a tow. It may be the end of their night.
I will say Steve was the closest guy I saw to missing it. He was very, very... Actually, that must have been... He must have already used his last faster barrier. I can tell you this much right now. Steve Korsick is called it tonight. So, guys, I'll tell you what. The top, 3 or 4 in points by the normal point standings are not having good nights. Obviously, Zach Camella was second in points coming into tonight's race. And obviously he's going to have a couple weeks off, but I mean, this is not a good night for the guys top in points. It's a good night for guys to get higher.
Unfortunately, the cause of that caution after going back and looking at it is probably about a car and a half of netcode between the 1 of Tanner Brooks and the 20 of DJ Thomas. They were not near each other whatsoever, but they absolutely pinged off of each other and spun out, causing a parking lot in front of the field. That's very unfortunate to have happen, but that's just how iRacing goes sometimes. We can't really guarantee that the servers will hold up, and we've been definitely having some issues the past couple of days with some guys.
So, Korsick has called it a night with multiple cars on pit road here. That was a big wreck.
Yeah, I expect to see this field start getting cut down very quickly after that, and unfortunate for some of the newer guys in the league.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunately how this track runs now. I noticed this at Charlotte too, at least the way it ran. It's almost like it's not a super speedway, but man, you pile cars up here now, and it makes it really tough to get good racing. But props to these guys for trying stuff at least. I mean, obviously Jalen Parker's trying everything in the book. I mean, 2 tires in the grass on the restart. You can tell how desperate he is to get to the lead. So
yeah, it's just kind of how racing goes in general with this build, and especially with the track state that we have. I mean, a 10-mile-per-hour southwest wind, but unfortunately for some of our cautions today, it's just been netcode that's kind of been the progenerator of these things. And as much as I hate to see guys get taken out of the race from netcode, it's just something that we cannot do anything about.
I'll interject here and call this a mini rant, if you will. I don't want it to sound like a rant, but for some reason since the new build, the iRacing servers have been extremely unreliable. So, I mean, it could be part of it, maybe. I don't know if it's something that they have yet to fix, or I don't know, but it seems like ever since we got the new build, which makes you see the mile-and-a-half racing that we do, the servers have just not been great. So
I have gotten word.
I don't know.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but I have gotten word from DJ Thomas. There is a long way to go in this race. He plans on taking whatever repairs he can and getting back on the track trying to finish this thing.
Good for him. Major props. DJ, obviously a guy trying to get his way back up in the points standings after a couple of rough weeks. He can get the speed to do it, so he'll pull his best Griffin Williams and flip back around and get the best finish he can. So we're almost halfway through stage number 2. It'll be Coffey and Parker the front row now. Pietra Hausman row 2. Accardo and Fleming row 3. Coker Roberts row 4. Brandon Williams and Jacob Hopp make up row number 5. Hammond and Griffin Williams make up row number 6. Ian Nelson and Michael Lanfear row number 7. John Curtis, Clint McGill row number 8. Rest of the top 20, Ethan Fournier, Don Milkowicz, Lucas Sylvester, and Justin Kane. Base car is off. 26 laps to go in stage number 2. Alex Coffey leads him with the green flag. We're racing again here at Atlanta. Oh, looking 3 wide back there around Luis Ricardo. Whoa, Matt Coker. He's trying it down into turn 1. Let's see if it sticks.
Ooh, Parker's putting the squeeze on Pietro down there.
Sticks. Good move by Matt Coker. He's on the move. Whoa. Turn 2, trying to push Jalen Parker to the front. Drag race for the race lead.
For somebody with old tires, Alex Coffey is keeping that thing stuck right to the bottom of this track.
He's fast. We knew he was fast from qualifying, but we knew Jalen was fast as well. And caution out again.
Oh, I see DJ Thomas in it.
Right when the racing gets to its best. We are cursed. Apparently, we only have about 3 laps of good racing. That was really good racing by the top 5 or 6 cars right there.
We'll go back and see exactly what happened. Oh, wow. Okay.
So I like to interject with race chatter, and I will do this as we watch the replays. I wait to watch the replay. I hear numbers every time something bad, and the number I've heard most tonight called is 19. I mean, we'll see the replay. Oh my goodness! Oh, a terrible crash. Hey, Nathan Bentley got through one. I think that's props.
Yeah, he did go off the track. We're going to see exactly what happened here. Looks like maybe...
Oh, McGill's car is destroyed.
Oh, it looks like DJ Thomas tried to shoot the gap on Don, and unfortunately for the 19, he just kind of got caught up in it. I don't really think he can be called one to blame there. That was
looks
just
like Don's left sides are on the apron. Oh, Don's loose. Don's bad loose off turn 4 right there. Yeah, you see him at 54 gets wicked loose on corner exit.
Yeah, and I believe that was only a 3-car incident. Mostly everybody else. Oh, unless DJ rolls down the track in front of Clayton here. Oh, he's putting the block on him. Does he get through? Oh, barely out of the way. That was a scary situation to be coming up on. I can guarantee you that. So we'll go back live here and see what action is going on. Unfortunately, I have been informed Ron Holmes will be receiving a end-of-line penalty at the end of this race. He's going to be put to the back of the field, finishing in last position.
Ouch. Now, I will say he did own up to it, Ron. Obviously, really easy going. He was really apologetic about it in the race chatter. When we're talked about it wasn't fair to everybody else, and that's the kind of guy. And I mean, obviously, it's a tough situation, but I don't know many guys that would go about it as easy. So,
yeah, props to Ron. We really respect him. We respect the service that he did for our country after serving in the Marines, and we love to have him here. I'll take the blame mainly for this one. Had a little bit of issues. Unfortunately for me, for those who don't know out there, I am currently in the process of getting moved out and transferring colleges. So while I've been busy with that stuff, I may have messed up a little bit on setting this race up, giving everybody unlimited fast repairs. But due to the league conduct, we're only giving out 2 as usual. One thing for Ron, I mean, he did hop out of the car, call it a night early. He's only going to drop 1 position, so he caught it early. He's not got too much farther to drop, but it's better than us finding out later whenever we go through this round of the race and go one by one on these cars and make sure no one took fast repairs more than 2. So it's going to be a long, tedious process, but that's something that we do to make sure that the content and the fairness of Full Pedal Jacket maintains the same integrity as we always have, and that's something that we're going to be having to do at the end of the race. So you may see some unofficial results at the end of this, is what we're going to call it. Whether or not guys have taken the 3rd fast repair or 4th fast repair is going to remain to be seen until later, but we will keep you up to date as we did in the Las Vegas race next week with the official standings, and we'll still go through everything as normal and just assume everybody out here is unchecking those. Yeah,
and obviously when it comes to Ron, he's not a guy I worry about. last couple of weeks, getting his first couple of top 10s here in the past few weeks, so he's improving. Obviously, with Bentley Motorsports, there as his teammates, and they have a lot of speed as all 5 cars, and they're all in the playoff battle. So, not too big a hit here for Ron, I don't think, but hopefully you can get that back on track starting next week. We'll see. Obviously, you know, don't really want to force him to. Obviously, probably still feels pretty bad. Oh. Well, you didn't say it like that. Anyway.
For those of you who didn't hear me there, I was asking if maybe we should pull Ron up. If we have another caution, I think we'll see if he's available for an interview and try to get his perspective on how the racing's been today. And even though he's had a little bit of an early exit, he's a guy who we haven't really gotten a chance to interview before, and this will be a perfect time to maybe get a in-race interview for those of you who maybe don't have enough time to stick around after the race to see how those go.
Yeah, and just a little quick thing. Obviously, the unofficial results will happen. Assuming everyone up here stays the same, the unofficial results will not include the front of the field. So most likely we will know the winner tonight. Green flag for Alex Coffey and Jalen Parker here on lap number 81. 20 to go in stage number 2. Parker gets a good run with help from Adrian Piedra up top. Those two are extremely fast. We'll see. Parker pulling up to the outside of Alex Coffey. Hausman looks 3. We might be 3 wide. Coffey tries to throw the block. Not going to happen. Hausman's there.
Ooh, Hausman's got a running mate.
3. Wow, this is good racing up here. Parker, look at dude. That 58 car is quick. New leader, Jalen Parker. Here comes Piedra, though. Heads up. Here comes the 78. So let's see how long Jalen Parker can hold on to the lead, especially with Piedra running his designated line up there.
I don't know how good of an idea it is to leave that high side open for Piedra. That's where he finds speed, and you see he uses it.
We're good. Griffin Williams back there. Got a little bit of a disaster moment. Almost spun it in front of the entire field, but holds it together. New leader is Adrian Piedra as he goes. We'll see if Parker can hang with him.
Whoa, might have been a little bit of contact.
There. Oh, I wondered if Hausman maybe bounced off.
He very well may have. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, 3 wide in the back with DJ Thomas, I see.
Yeah, we'll see. Keep it right here for a second. We may have a battle for the lead. Trying. I wouldn't go to the inside.
Yeah, we've seen Piedra use that high side just about every single one of these 1.5-mile tracks. He's definitely wanting to use it. Oh!
What a block by Hausman. Switchback. 78 to the bottom.
Using that dirt track.
Now you trapped him.
Using that dirt track experience Mason was there, trying to slide up across the nose.
Now if you're Hausman, you've trapped him, though. You've trapped him in a line he doesn't want to run. So now Hausman's got the dominant line, at least by Piedra's standards. He can kind of force Piedra down and carry some more speed. Look out. Don't look now. Matt Coker has made his way up to 3rd. He started 31st in the race, and he has passed Jalen Parker to get to P3.
Yeah,
Drag race down. The backstretch continues. Piedra and Hausman. Hausman is doing a great job. Oh, Piedra, he hit him. He's loose. Holy cow, that was close. Piedra, an incredible job to save that car. But it allows Hausman to pull away, and the battle's on for 2nd.
I know one thing. If he didn't get into contact there with Adrian Piedra, he's probably not going to be too happy about that. I expect maybe to see Piedra return the favor if he gets a chance to get up to his high side and catch back up to Mason.
I definitely would not doubt it. That's for sure. Battle's on still for 2nd. It's Coker on the outside of Piedra. Whoa, Piedra sliding up again.
Might be some tire wear for that 78. He's been stuck down there at the bottom for quite a while now, and we know it's not the line that he prefers to run.
Whoa, in the dicey situation there with the 77. Whoa, Piedra almost got in the left rear of the 31. Move Matt Coker to P2. Getting a little bit closer to the end of the oh, Lanfear's out of shape. Lanfear's out of shape. Good save by Michael Lanfear to keep that car straight. Here it may have been some contact from the 92 of Jonathan Hammond.
And that's two guys who have gotten into it a couple times over our previous races, so I would not be surprised. Wow, it looks like they were door banging back there as Pietro takes the second position back.
These two are battling really hard. Let's see if Coker carries any speed. You know Pietro's fast, so it wasn't going to be long once he got off the bottom of the racetrack that he was going to get these spots back. Meanwhile, Parker coming after third from Matt Coker.
Yeah, he's the one taking advantage of these two racing. Ooh!
Woo! Little contact. Hey, Rubbin's racing. They keep it together. They're still drag racing down the front straightaway. Coker looks like he'll secure that spot. We'll see the 58's running that top line. Look out. TJ Roberts blows the gap.
Yeah, TJ Roberts and Matthew Fleming
right
have been
Parker.
taking advantage of them racing right now. They are getting up into this action.
Roberts going to utilize the outside line. Has to lift a little bit. Parker's been so good on the inside. And he keeps that spot right around the edge of the top 5, maybe P4 here. It is P4. So 11 laps to go in stage number 2. Still watching this battle as it goes on here. Roberts switch back on the 58 of Parker, not going for it.
You'll notice in the bottom left of your screen, in that battles box there, that on the back stretch and the front stretch, Pietro is slowly starting to chip away at the lead that Mason Hausman has.
Yeah, we may have a battle here coming for the stage win. Fleming track down TJ Roberts. That's for 5th in the stage. So 3 cars here battling for a few spots in the top 5. Go back a little bit further. There's John Coffey. So both teammates up here running near the front of the field. They're 7th and 8th right now. Jacob Hopp is 9th. Justin Kane 10th. But we got a battle on for this position. Kane, Hammond, and Ethan Fournier. Lots of battles on track right now. Whoa, Brendan Williams.
Good job keeping it up there after getting into the wall.
Near the front. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Pietro's chipping away at that gap. We'll see if he has enough time. We talked about it. Pietro's already won stage 1. He's trying to run down Hausman here. He's trying to win stage 2, and then if he can finish off the job here in stage 3, pretty big prize waiting for him at the end of it. He's got to catch Mason here in about 8 laps, though.
Yeah, Mason might be trying to play a little bit of a spoil sport here. He knows he's only got about 7-8 laps to go, so I would expect him to start throwing some blocks since he doesn't have an opportunity to win that hat.
We'll see. Pietro chipped away a lot that time by. He's going to get to him. They got to be careful, though, if they want to keep 1-2. They can't back too hard here for the lead in the stage because lurking behind them, 31, 58, 3, 88 fast cars lurking right around the 4th or 3rd through 6th positions right now. Oh, Pietro's there, and he goes to the high side. This is where you're going to see him get the best run. He'll pull the back bumper of the 17 here, if not off 2, off 4. Here we go. And
Brandon Williams a little bit squirrely.
There. I couldn't tell what car that was.
Ooh-wee.
Oh, he tried to get in there on the left rear. May have tried to send in there. Talked about the contact earlier. They've been around each other so far this season.
Yeah, and as these two are battling, you notice Matthew Coker is starting to chip away a couple tenths of seconds on these two, as well as the guys behind them. So with about 5 or 6 laps left here, we're going to see maybe a 3-way battle for the lead.
Here comes Pietro, looking for the race lead. Pinches him down. He does. Wow, an incredible job of keeping him on the bottom. He holds him off for now. 5 laps to go at the start-finish line in stage number 2. And yeah, Coker had chipped it down to 9 tenths. Make it 8 tenths. Coker is on the way. He may not have the laps to get there, but there you see him. He and Parker are coming quick. Still 5 laps to go. 17, a little bit loose there off turn 2.
Oh, looking back to the inside.
Oh, Pietro's in a better spot this time.
Looks like Mason may have given up the fight for now. Maybe try to get in behind him.
For the race lead. 4 laps to go in stage number 2. And these two have burned up their tires. Coker's cutting down to 7 tenths. He's not going to have laps to get there, I don't think, unless these two up front really get into it.
Oh, and Piedra is taking sail. He is absolutely running his race right now. Spread it out to 4/10, almost half a second. Gained an entire 2/10 of a second through that corner alone on Mason Hausman.
So with 3 laps to go in stage 2, what has become the dominant car of the day continues to lead the race. Meanwhile, Hausman, now that he's lost the lead, he begins to fall off just a little bit more. He's under fire for second from Coker. 31 goes around him. Now the 58 of Parker. He's going to look to the inside. Hausman starting to lose spots. He's going to have to salvage when he can. Contact! Hausman rides up the racetrack. Luckily, he holds it together, keeps it off the wall. Whoa, TJ Roberts with a little bit of a weird-looking move right there. They scramble to get around the 17. He was losing time quick. Whoa, 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 whoa! Those 2 cars are close. We're good, though.
Oh, contact!
Oh, Roberts!
Saves the car!
Oh, Fournier, what in the world is going on? Some cars off the pace.
Yeah, Roberts is dropping fast all the way back to 10th.
All right, we'll go over that later. That's, okay. I've heard a bit of interesting radio chat that I'm going to keep to myself because I like the element of surprise, but I think it is safest to say, as Piedra is half a lap from a Stage 2 win, it is safest to say that TJ Roberts is not all that happy with Mr. Hausman.
Oh, I would believe it.
I'm not gonna spoil what he actually said. Maybe I will a little bit later. But boy, winner stage number 2 is Piedra. So he's got 70, a little less than. So he's got a little bit less than 70 laps if he wants to secure the big time bounty. As I've got Race Shader going to my ear at the same time, we're trying to sort things out here under the stage caution.
You know, we'll go through the top 10 here, and our stage points winners. It's going to be Adrian Piedra, Matthew Kosher, Jalen Parker, Matt Fleming, John Curtis, Mason Hausman, Justin Kane, Ethan Fournier, Jacob Hopp, and John Hammond.
Yeah, very interesting group of drivers. Hausman obviously keep that car inside the top 10, get some more stage points. Apparently what I am hearing is that there was a crash coming to the stage checkered flag. I've heard it involved a 40 of Brandon Williams, a 9 of Brady Shue may have been in it, a 13 of Ikra may have been in it.
We'll go back and check and see exactly what happened there.
We're down to 21 cars on the lead lap now, so this race taking its toll on this field quickly with under 70 laps to go. Field comes to pit lane here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I heard it was a pretty rough incident going on near the back of the field. I can tell you while you're looking at it, Steve Korsak has called it a night. Marcus Miller has called it a night. Jessica Bellio was in here for about 5 minutes and disconnected, so she has called it a night. James Kubanek in the 24 has called it a night. And TJ Roberts has called it a night.
Yeah, it looks like a couple of guys involved in that. I think the one who started it, as we'll see if we can get up here to him, may have been the 007 of Alex Coffey.
Oh man, yep, I'm seeing it. It's a rough looking wreck, but I mean not much you can do really.
Yeah, unfortunate for those guys crashing at the line.
We're gonna get the field re-racked. There are cars that stayed out. I'm trying to figure out who up here's one car stayed out. I think Ian Nelson stayed out. He is in front of the rest of the field. The rest of the cars up here are laps down, so.
Yep, I think we'll see him
here
hit pit road this time, yep.
Alright, so we'll re-rank the field for stage 3, our final stage. Pretty decent amount of cars still on the racetrack. Still a good amount on the lead. 23 cars to be exact on the lead lap. Tanner Brooks will be the first car a lap down. Don Milkowick's also a lap down. They're 24th and 25th. Clayton Fry still out there running. He's 2 laps down in the 26th position. TJ Roberts, he's called it tonight. He'll start to drop through the order. Williams is 28th. He's 4 laps down. Cody Harrelson, I believe, is still out there, as well as Gavin Rogers. They're 29th and 30th. They're multiple laps down. Ikra is still out there as well. He's a lot of laps down as well. So, and Cody Griffith, I think, is also out there, 40 laps down.
You know, we said Bristol was going to be the race that maybe set a couple of guys off on rivalries, but I think we've seen a couple more guys a little bit more upset about the track space that they give on Atlanta. That's going to cause that heading forward for the rest of the season here.
Well, a couple of things. First off, I did, from the race chatter, guys were really not happy about that wreck the stage checkered. I mean, guys I do not usually hear get angry about wrecks are mad about that one. First voice I heard was Brady Shue in the 9, so... And to go along with that, now that he is out of the race and obviously not going to do anything today, No, you know what? No, we're gonna skip it. I thought better. We'll leave it for next week. It's gonna be about T.J. Robertson Mason, but we'll skip out on that.
All right, one guy we can't pull in here real quick while we're under caution could be Ron Holmes.
Is he available?
I do see him in his team chat. We have a little bit of time.
We're about to go green, though. We're about to go green.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Well, I see some guys starting to catch up to the pack here. We'll see if they can get caught up or if we'll have to have a delayed green here.
I don't think so. I see. I can't. Well, we're only in 4. We're not even. Yeah, I think we're good. Pace car's off. It'll be 65 laps. Piedra 65 laps from a bounty. Green flag. What a start, Jalen Parker. Are you kidding me?
Bye-bye, Mr. Piedra. Jalen Parker to the lead of this race is what he's thinking.
And here comes the battle we've been waiting for. It's Parker and Piedra. Whoa, car's sliding up over there. It's Tyler Bentley, who's kind of recovered his day. He's back inside the top. Oh, Piedra's loose. Piedra's still loose. Reckon Piedra's in the grass.
Wow.
Holy cow, what a save by Adrian Piedra. How in the
holds on to it.
Catch that car.
I do see it says a couple of guys crashed there. Griffin Williams being one of them.
Oh, man. Right when his run was going the best all day. Oh, don't look that much damage on that car. Should be all right.
We'll take a look and see what happened. Oh, wow! I see somebody hitting hard into the outside wall.
The car could be separated from the engine, I think, and Griffin Williams would probably still try to fire it up and run it. So.
Yeah, it looks like Griffin may have got a little bit loose there, came down on the 55 Whoa. Of Tyler Bentley, up into the 15, hard into the outside wall for him.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm seeing it right now.
Brady Shue clips him, sends him flying upside down again. Nathan Bentley loses the front end of his car for the second time.
Leader of the caution, by the way, is Jalen Parker, the 58, and Piedra. We'll see how bad his drop through the field is. Oh, man, This one's tough for Piedra. Actually, I'm not seeing his name. Oh, he actually only dropped to 6th.
Yeah, not too many spots lost because this caution happened right behind him. I thought he may have been the cause of it, but it definitely looks like it happened in the middle of turn 4. So a lot of guys checking up there to avoid the caution, not get their cars damaged. It may have been a lucky break for Piedra.
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing the wreck. Oh, man. Several of the new guys, Gavin Rogers being one of them, has just not had the day he wanted. Same with Tanner Brooks, although he finds himself now the first car lap down.
Yeah,
Ricardo is also involved. He was having a pretty good day up.
As we always say in this league, cautions breed caution. So you stack all these guys back up together, and they're going to be duking it out for position, especially cold tires. I know a lot of guys pit on that last stage break there, so that's kind of the story of not only the league, but this track in general. Cold tires, running it hard, gets you loose, and then a couple of guys maybe taking more than they give, which is about what we've come to see is to be expected here on this track and in this league in general. So we'll see if we'll get another one here, stacking them all back up together again, making it go green.
Yeah, and Piedra's got himself some work cut out now. And he's going to be coming from 6th instead of starting on the pole and starting first for most of the race. I see Parker had already gotten around him anyway, but...
Yeah, he's got a couple of fast guys to get through. I mean, Matthew Fleming, even though we weren't there to stream his qualifying run, he did mention offhandedly after he qualified 3rd, man, these guys are really fast. Almost seemed shocked that he didn't get the pole position, as was I, the amount of speed that he was carrying through that qualifying lap. I wish we could have had it up, but finished very, very close, within a couple thousandths of a second from getting that second place position.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, if the car we're looking at, the 58, had finished his lap, that was a screamer. I mean, he was going to get the pole, and we knew he was going to be fast. Obviously, he's got to carry that into a long run, especially against a guy. This is a good chance, if he can get a good enough restart, to kind of pull away and let the guys behind him hold Piedra up a little bit. So, oh, huh? Oh.
And they were talking about him before, starting right behind Justin Kane is going to be Adrian Piedra, so you know, if some of Justin's fans have gotten in contact with him over these past couple races, maybe you might see Justin race Piedra a little bit harder than any of the other guys out there today.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll re-rack the field here with going to be 60 laps to go. Going to be Parker and Fleming now the front row. First time in a while we haven't seen Adrian Piedra on the front row. Coker and Kane are the second row. Matthew Coker, another guy, kind of on the rate. We've talked about him, but he hasn't gotten the screen time that Piedra and Parker have. But in his first start, Coker's putting on a show, and he is up to P3. So great run for him so far.
Yeah, kind of
number 4. Green flag for Jalen Parker. 60 laps to go. Piedra gets held up. That's what we worried about. He got held up. Fleming got a bad restart. And moved Piedra to 7th. And he's under fire for 8th from DJ Thomas.
Yeah, kind of the tale of 2 races right now. Matthew Coker in 2nd place. Marcus Coker called it early, unable to finish. So, you know, unfortunate for one of them, but the father is putting on for the son. Maybe got a cheerleader in his channel there. And here comes Mason Hausman shooting for the lead again.
Not surprising. But it's going to be awfully tough to pass the guy he's chasing down right now. Mason, we saw him in stage 2 really be really good on a short run, so if Parker can hold him off for 5 or 6 laps, he can probably stay in front of him right here. We'll see. And biggest mover on the restart, you see him. He's in 3rd. He's coming quick. DJ Thomas shot out of a cannon. Hausman back up to the back bumper with a 58. Not quite close enough. Still about a half a car length to a car length gap between Parker and Hausman. Thomas closes back in on the 17. Hausman dives to the inside. I'm not sure how that's going to work for him. Oh, he made a little contact there with the 50.
You notice the only guy running away. Oh, Brady Shue getting a little bit loose.
Wow, what a save.
You notice one guy who has been passing some people on that high side is Adrian Piedra. He is definitely making it known that he can get through the field in whatever portion of the track that he chooses.
I will put it this way, and this happened a little bit earlier as well. if I were Jalen Parker, I would probably not be happy with how Hausman treated me in turn 1 right there. Kind of used him as a breaking point. Yeah, you see Piedra, he's closing in. These guys have to go.
Yeah, I think DJ may have lost a little bit of speed.
Oh, 58 may have sent the 17 right there. He got into him. He definitely got into him. But Jalen Parker, I'd say he's able to run away by 4 car lengths now. With 56 laps to go.
Yeah, Matthew Fleming sitting here in 5th too. He's being calm, cool, collected, and consistent. And I think he may have a little bit of a better race on a long run here. It seems like he's saving some of his stuff here, letting these guys up here run 4-3 wide. You know,
I don't blame him. Oh, Hausman caught the apron, sliding up. It allows Parker to run that middle line.
Yeah, Piedra kind of pushing DJ Thomas up the track there too. Oh, gets a little bit loose. May have gotten into the back of him.
Cars around.
Saves it.
Hold on to it, DJ. Hold on to it, DJ.
Wow. Oh, it's not over yet. Gets into the back of him. Oh, my. DJ, hold on to that car.
DJ. Oh, no.
There's the caution.
There's the caution.
Oh, killed. That. Oh, I believe that's the engine on both of those cars there. Yeah, that might be the end for DJ Thomas unless he chooses to get an engine swap here.
Oh, no.
That may hold the record for the longest crash in Full Pedal Jacket history for a long time. I believe he started wrecking all the way on the exit of 4 and made it all the way down to the backstretch before finally getting the caution thrown out. Wow, what an amazing show of skill there by DJ trying to hold on to that car. Unfortunately couldn't do it, and then ultimately gets ran into by Tanner Brooks, I believe.
Yeah, it's just a tough situation overall. Car's pitting now. He leads the field up. That's really tough for Tanner Brooks. He was about to get the lucky doggy back on the lap, but unfortunately, DJ almost got on the car, then he didn't. Then he had it, then he didn't, then he had it. Really didn't.
Yeah, getting those tires hot, spinning them like that, and then keeping on it.
Well, as Parker pulls into his pit box, now I did hear DJ mention he may have had a little bit of help from the 78 of Piedra.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Trying to beat the 78 on pit road, he does pretty handily.
Ooh, almost.
That's really close for a second. These guys file out of pit lane. But it will be Jalen Parker. I don't know who got second. I couldn't tell. It must have been Hausman. So.
Yeah, if I'm Adrian Piedra right now, I would be a little bit worried. Now, as many of you may not know, the 17 of Mason Hausman, who's been door banging, beating the doors off of people, blocking, pinching, that is DJ Thomas's teammate there. So if DJ is going to be a little bit upset, maybe got into the back of by the 78, I do not expect either of these two guys in front to give Piedra any sort of leeway for the rest of this race. They're going to drive the tires off of that thing to make sure that Piedra gets no open space.
Yeah, and we'll re-rack the field here, and really no surprise who you see up front. I mean, between hearing from Jalen Parker before the race, obviously knowing that Mason Hausman's had speed, knowing Piedra has been extremely fast, especially on 1.5 miles. I mean, Matthew Fleming, obviously consistently fast. Justin Kane. John Curtis, he's doing well. Jacob Hopp hanging around in the top 10. Jonathan Hammond, Alex Coffey. And Jason Waller, you want to talk about a recovery story, this is the one you want to look at. It seemed like he was in each of the first 6 incidents, and he is in the top 10 with 50 laps to go. So, really good stuff for Jason Waller. It's a good story in his first start. Matt Coker has moved back to 11th, so a rough pit stop there for him. And Clippy Gill has slowly made his way up to 12th, and that is important. Gill is, very, very deep in this points battle. We talked about it a little bit last night, and he needs all the points he can get, and he's getting it done right now in Stage 3 and sitting in a really good spot. Same with Paul Ferdiani running 13th.
Yeah, Paul's been in just about every wreck too so far, and he's making his way up there.
Nelson, Fournier, these are all guys that have a pretty good run. To 16th. Nathan Bentley has recovered to 17th. Lucas Sylvester, 18th. Tyler Slow Bentley, I think, is 19th. Oh. You see Griffith there on pit road again. So it'll be Jalen Parker.
This is going to be a tough restart for Piedra. He's behind one of the faster guys, the guy who's been giving him everybody trouble all race long. Is to the outside. The guy who's been pretty much at his door for the whole race, Matthew Fleming, is right outside of him. And then from what I've been reading through the little bit of chatter that we have going on in the comments section here, and from all the previous races, his biggest rival, Justin Kane, right behind him as well. So he's kind of surrounded in a hostile box here with no help.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. We're getting really, really close to the last stages of this race. So, good battle. Here, let's get ready to go with an even 50 laps remaining.
Basically, one more stage here. We've seen them all be action-packed with a little bit of cautions, less cars. Here, I think we're going to get some good racing.
Well, we've had good racing all day at the front. I mean, some of these guys burst onto the scene and made a good impression. Green flag, Jalen Parker, Mason Hausman bring us back to the green. And there are a few guys up here that are not necessarily happy with each other. The 58's not happy with the 17. 17's not happy with the 78. 78's not happy with the 17. 17's not happy with either of them. Top three are in very hot water.
Woo! A little bit of block there.
It's been doing it all day, man, and no surprise. He blocks the Piedra machine, and you notice, and I'm.
Oh, we may have lost Dawson there for a second. We're going to see if we can get that figured out, but Mason is pinching every time he gets to the door of anybody in this race. I know he really wants to win and go back-to-back. He'd be our first repeat winner. Oh, Michael went through into the wall. Nathan Bentley into it.
Uh-oh.
No caution as of now. They may have saved it. Might see some early unexpected pit stops out of some of those guys back there battling in the points
We got a
position.
good battle for the lead, though. As Paul Ferdiani is spun out on the apron in turn one. What happened?
I don't know. He's off the track, so iRacing will not throw the caution for that, and that gives Mason a chance to get around.
Yeah, and look at Parker throwing the block on Piedra. Smart moves here.
Yeah, all these guys are fighting to keep Piedra down there on the bottom line.
58 is saving here. I wouldn't blame him. We'll see if he's actually saving here as the race goes a little bit further, but I'm wondering if he's saving.
I would say he's either saving or he's been down on the bottom because of Mason Hausman running him so hard that he's got no opportunity right now.
I can tell you that the 17 has not been saving. 78 I don't think is saving either, and they're going to battle for the lead now. Mason pinching him down, same thing he's done all day.
I wouldn't be surprised to see these two cars make contact within the next couple laps as close as what they're running each other.
There. Holy cow, that was almost it. Oh man, that was really close.
So really pushing him down.
Going off into one. Well, not quite. Piedra back to the bottom for a second.
Gonna slide in behind him.
Back in behind him. See if he fights back to the inside of him again here in turns 3 and 4. 45 laps to go at the line.
Right now is Jalen Parker's biggest chance to clear Piedra.
And he's there. He fills the gap between Piedra and the outside wall. He looks for second as Piedra looks for the lead, diving hard. There's 1 and 2. Mason's got that high line rolling right now. Although Piedra held it pretty close. Oh,
a little bit of contact in the back. They save it. Wow, both those cars sideways.
Too many saves here today.
Oh, coming up on lap traffic here.
Oh, yeah, first bout with lap traffic here on the green. It's Nathan Bentley.
Oh, it looks like Mason's going to force him into it there.
Oh, boy. Good racing up front right now. Piedra now goes to the top. It's going to be a big run, too. Mason went to the bottom. He thought block him. He's going to slide up.
Ooh, cutting it down hard onto the bottom of the track.
Incredible racing up here.
These guys just can't seem to get away from each other.
He's going to clear him this time, I think. He does. New leader, Adrian Piedra.
Oh, might be going for a switchback there. He's got a good run.
Switchback. This is going to probably hurt him more than it hurts Piedra. Piedra's been running so good on the inside. Hausman, no. Can't be surprised.
Gave no space.
Right there.
He
he
knows.
slides up. He got it on the bottom.
He knows what line Piedra's wanting to run. He's been looking for that middle line instead of the high line all day, so making sure he has no space to get to the bottom there.
Well, Piedra back to the inside, but Hausman gets that top line rolling again. He's there. Wait right here. Right behind the 17. Kind of waiting his turn to start to track down Hausman. Hausman's probably burned his stuff by now, so...
Yeah, I think both these guys have. You notice Piedra's even getting a little bit loose as Mason dives to the inside last second.
Dives to the inside.
Oh, he's going to slide up the track here, maybe.
Not quite enough to get to Piedra's door. That's going to allow Jalen Parker to move to his inside. Battles on for second. Hausman and Jalen Parker. We are down to just 19 cars on the lead lap. It'll be 18.
Oh, Parker has definitely decided it is time to go now. He is starting to track down. He drove it hard into that turn.
He's kind of let them burn their stuff up. I mean, it makes sense. I don't blame him. Kind of let the guys in front of him race each other, focus on each other, and then go take the spot.
So Paul Freddie, and he dives into pit lane there. Maybe a little bit of an early stop. I did see he made contact with the wall, so...
Yeah, we'll see. Parker starting to lose a little bit of time here to Piedra. To set sail. Obviously, no guarantees. This race goes the last 40 laps under green. We'll see, but no guarantees. Piedra, our stages 1 and 2 winner.
One more to get that Dale Earnhardt commemorative hat.
He's 39 laps away. I will say Parker did not let the gap open up as much that 17 anymore. And you notice the 78 has moved to the bottom while Parker continues to run that second and third lane, and you see, Piedra's breaking the draft. But he knows Parker's there, and he knows Parker's line is running a little. There's nothing I can do. I mean, oh yeah, that wasn't a cut. That was a lag.
That's fine. You notice Piedra is kind of pulling away a little bit. Parker beats him in the corners. He's definitely got more tire than what Piedra does. On the straights, they're a little bit equal. I mean, he's cutting down. That was almost 0.2 of a second.
And could this be maybe saving a little bit more? You know, not too far out in front, but keeping him within a striking distance where he can go and get him, because he definitely. Oh yeah, by 1/10.5.
Yeah, I think right now.
Piedra's lifting big in the corners. That could be part.
Yeah, I think right now we're looking at a pit battle, a pit strategy battle between these two guys here. We know they're both extremely fast in a short run, and they're kind of equal in a long run here. So it could be the difference between fuel saving that decides this race if it goes green to the end.
We'll see. We're closing in on 35 laps to go. Piedra pulls away a little bit more time. He pulls it out to almost half a second over the 58 of Parker. Battle is on for third. Holy cow, we got a bunch of cars back here going for one spot. Hausman is third, Fleming is fourth, Curtis is fifth, Kane is sixth.
Yeah, you see.
He turned him! Oh, he turned him!
Oh, wow!
Both cars saved it, but he drove through him!
Matthew is definitely tired of being behind him. That's going to open up the door for Justin Kane to maybe pick up a position here.
So Hausman keeps third. Oh man, that was cool.
I did notice there that Matthew Fleming was kind of struggling to get past the bubble on the back of the 17, so it might be an arrow push instead of an actual contact that we saw there.
That's what I was wondering, because earlier the leaders were battling, and it happened at 58, where somebody got behind him, they kind of crossed over and pushed him away, instead of being able to cross right back over underneath. So maybe an issue with the bubble. Holy cow, what a run for Justin Kane off the top. That's for third.
Now, I will say, in terms of those two drivers specifically as well, I know Matthew Fleming in the practice before the race was kind of messing around with some of the aero stuff, asking if he was making guys loose. So maybe a little bit of a strategy there to move some guys out of the way with the aero package.
Asman's losing spots quick, just like he did in stage 2. We're going to go 3 wide right here, I think. Close. No, not quite. Kane to 3rd, move Fleming to 4th. John Curtis trying to follow him, looking for 5th. The 17 and the 117, they'll battle for P5.
Jalen Parker has cut it down to, I believe, 0.2 of a second on the leader.
Lanfear's on new tires, I believe, so he's laps down. Hop is 7th, Coker is 8th, Hammond is 9th, and Coffey is 10th. So the Runts Racing teammates both inside the top 10. Good first run for them. Good first run for Ethan Fournier. He's just outside the top 10. Jason Waller hanging around in 12th. Recovery story is still going for him right now. He was multiple laps down at one point in this race. Clint McGill's made his way up to 13th. Ian Nelson up to 14th.
We have had a request from the only Ron Holmes to join us up here in the broadcast booth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm always good to bring somebody in here. I'll keep commentating while we're waiting. To go. It's still Justin Kane out front. Or not Justin Kane. We're looking to battle for 3rd, sorry. But Fleming is to run him down. Here for P3. We'll see if Fleming can make that pass. We'll go back up here to the leader for a second while we... A little bit of a breather. He's not letting him get away, I'll tell you.
Yeah, at one point in time during, while we were going back through the field, I did notice that he had cut it down to about 0.2 of a second. So maybe giving it a little bit of a test, see how close he can get, and then let him get out back alone there. He is staying close enough to kind of pull the draft and save some of the stuff. And as I say that, he heads down pit road.
Parker's on pit road. That could be a sign. We'll see if guys start to pit.
Yeah, we've had enough cautions to not really see how pit strategy, what the longest these guys can run on their fuel is. So we did notice early on that Adrian Piedra was lifting pretty big, so it may be his forte to go an extra lap here and head on in.
Oh, it's going to hurt him, unfortunately, in the long run potential. A bit more speed here on this new tire. Although I don't think Parker has left pit road quite yet. It appears he's about to leave.
I'm not sure. We'll have to check and see. He did enter pit road a little bit fast there. If Piedra didn't get it well down, he might have just gotten a black flag for speeding in pit road.
Didn't look fast to me.
I had him clocked at about 57 right near the cone, so if he got it low down, it won't be.
We'll keep it here for a second. We'll see how long his pit stop takes. Just kind of watch in silence here as we wait for the 78.
He is going to give up his lead. That does not look like he got a penalty, so that's good for him. But here comes Justin Kane.
Coming out in front of the 58, though, so that's big. That's a big deal. It appears Piedra's going to be able to get up to speed in front of the 58. So
I'll say one thing. If there's a caution right now, though, Piedra is in a tough position.
Oh, yeah. A ton of cars will be able to pit and stay in front of him because Justin Kane has trapped him a lap down. Wow, Justin Kane was way up high on the racetrack right there.
He's running that Piedra line.
Lead between Justin Kane and Matt Fleming. Yeah, Piedra is scored ahead of Jalen Parker.
See Jacob Hopp and John Hammond enter pit road.
Yeah, pit cycle has started.
Yeah, as well as Ethan Fournier, I believe.
We'll see. It's going to come down to who's got the best pit strategy and who can execute it the best getting on to the pit road.
So looking at it, the longest pit run that we had so far out of the guys on the top 10 is Don Milkowitz in 10th at 35 laps. Justin Kane and Matthew Fleming just came around on lap 27. So if they can keep it out here for a couple more laps, they may be in a really good position here over top of Adrian Piedra. If they can keep him behind him, keep him slowed down, and let him burn up his tires a little bit, they'll definitely have more speed at the end of this race.
We'll see. I mean, obviously, a wreck right now would not be safe. The 88 of Matt Fleming. Kane's still your leader with 25 to go. There you see the 78. So much for that. He's going to go right. So still Kane and Fleming out front. They're 1-2.
Yeah, after Piedra unlapped himself, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of these guys up here in the top 5 take their pit stop and try to get out before he can come back around.
Justin Kane starting to get way out of the grid. 88's brought it to pit road, Matt Fleming. So, and Mason Hausman is down as well. We'll see now how this shakes things out. Move the 117 of Curtis to second. Move Matthew Coker to third. I kind of have to see how pit stops shake out here with 24 laps to go.
Justin Kane is wheeling this thing around here for quite a few laps, as fast as he can.
Might as well. I mean, try to get the freshest tires at the end. I don't know what you're going to be able to do to get a late caution or something of that nature. You're losing time, obviously, doing this, but can't fault him for trying. 117 of John Curtis gave up second. He's on pit road.
Yeah, Matt Coker is the next car in line, so all of the top 5 are on the same pit strategy. Or at least very close to it.
Well, it was going to spurn pit road again. I think, I can't remember exactly, but I think we saw him pull this at Charlotte too, where he ran really long, ended up, was able to pit, have really fresh tires and good track position as everybody came for tires. It was late enough in the race and ended up pulling away and winning the race. So we'll see if he's got the winning strategy again.
Yeah, he's definitely putting pressure on guys right now. All the way up to 6th position is currently a lap down.
I'm thinking through our winners, and I'm pretty sure that the only shot we have for a repeat winner is leading the race.
I believe you are correct in that. Everyone else inside of the top 10 is yet to win besides Mason Hausman, but he, unfortunately for him, with this many laps left in the race, unless we see a late caution, I can't confidently say he'll have the long run speed to make it up there to the front.
.21 laps to go. It'll be 20 here as Justin Kane crosses the line. We'll kind of see how things shake out when it comes to positioning. There goes Jalen Parker, so he's a ways behind. They are going to be 1-2 and everything shakes out, I think. Although there is another car that has not pitted. It is the 85 of Lucas Sylvester. He runs second, although he's only about 8 seconds in front of Adrian Piedra, so probably not much benefit left for him.
Piedra is currently entering turn 3 right now. So the difference in separation between these guys here is a decent margin, but it's definitely not one where you're thinking how you can beat a guy whenever it comes to tires. I think either you're taking the 4 tires and you're letting them by you, or you're only taking fuel and you're just going to try to run it as hard as you can with the old tires at this point, because he's definitely made up enough ground to be in striking distance.
Tires are too much of a big deal, I think, to even think about attempting fuel only. You can see the time difference, obviously, between Parker and Piedra, and pit a little bit later. And Piedra had such a good stop, I just don't think anybody's going to catch him unless we get that late caution. At Charlotte, it was with about 10 to go. At Bristol, obviously, with 2 to go. Daytona, 2 to go. Las Vegas, 2 to go. Indy, 2 to go. So we've had a late caution in every race to start the season. And Justin Kane is doing exactly what he did at Charlotte when that caution came out.
Yeah, he is holding on to this lead here. Like we said, we have no clue how long these guys can go on fuel. If maybe they were pitting for tires, if they were having to pit for fuel because the fuel was going to run out. That's something that unfortunately we weren't able to test all the way through with these track conditions. So if he's saved enough, he may be able to finish this race. I can't confidently say he will be able to, but that would be amazing.
It's going to be really, really tough. It would be an incredible accomplishment. And really, one of the greatest ways to have our first repeat winner. And that's shoot him to the top of the playoff grid as the first driver to 2 wins. He's got a long way to go. I can't tell you Piedra is running down the 85. I don't know. It's going to be really tough. I will say Parker has started to gain on Piedra, but I don't think he has enough to catch him. Although Piedra's, if I'm looking right, Piedra's running pretty slow. I mean, not slow, but
it very well. I did notice that his pit time was
gap did not
slightly
change very much. Did something happen to the 78? We may have a problem with the 78. We'll see. Oh, no, it gap stays the same. Justin Kane, I don't know how he's doing it.
Yeah, as these laps go on, I mean, you get about 10, 15 laps into these tires, and they will really start to level out.
Oh,
you see someone blown up on the bottom.
Oh, who was that?
I'm unsure who that is.
Oh, and the engine just... Oh, no, it didn't. It's Jason Waller. Man, right when we were talking about how great a day he's had, goes up in smoke.
Justin Kane has just entered the pits.
Oh, Justin Kane pits. He could not make it. So that, I believe, will hand the lead over to Sylvester. Although Piedra is coming quick, he's probably not going to be able to hold him on for that long. Oh yeah, it's a little under 3 seconds back to the 78.
Yeah, you see him there right on the top of the screen.
Oh yeah, Piedra's coming quick. And I just got the call on the radio. Sylvester's coming this time. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that was close. And that would have happened right in front of the leader. Well, the eventual leader. And Matthew Fleming is disconnected.
Oh, unfortunate for him.
Why is it? Man, come on. So the lead goes back to Adrian Piedra. Seconds in front of Parker. So Parker has cut that gap, but either not enough time or something.
Yeah, 8 seconds. You're definitely looking at a caution in order to figure out a way to get up there and contend for this race win.
Crosses the line, 11 laps to go. Piedra off turn 2.
Yeah, Justin Kane right in front of him.
He's been one of the dominant cars of the day. He won both stages. He's had a great day overall. And man, he is hoping for these laps to tick away right now.
Yeah, he's just waiting for it to be over.
For the green flag to stay out. He does not want to see a yellow when the next 2 cars behind him are Jalen Parker and Mason Hausman, who on a short run have equaled him. Parker actually lost time.
Oh, see a couple guys getting loose up in front of him. He's got a pack of cars to get through.
An 8-second gap doesn't have to. He doesn't have to run that hard. He's 8 seconds out in front of the 58. Just has to make sure don't wreck the car. Just glide through there. He's going past the 66. He's going to have to negotiate the 11 of Fry. Does so in turn 1. Now he looks underneath Tyler Bentley. This is going to be a little bit tougher. Same with Brady Shoes. They pit well after the 78 did. 78 lets him go. Under 9 laps to go.
Piedra is looking at $10 richer and a possibility of winning our grand prize bounty.
Oh, that was close. He almost caught the left rear quarter of the 9 of Shoe right there. And if you're Jalen Parker and Hausman and Matt Coker and Hammond and Coffee, you're hoping. You know it's a possibility, especially with a pretty decent-sized pack right now in turn 4. Right around the 013 of Lanfear, 007 Coffee. You're hoping for a yellow, but you're going to need one at this point.
I do see, I believe, the 88 of Matthew Fleming has rejoined us and re-entered the track.
He's reconnected, but he's laps down. I mean, he's still going to get an okay finish out of it, especially if he gets on track for 2 or 3 laps. We'll see. We'll see how it pans out. 7 laps to go for Adrian Piedra. Parker's cut the gap down just over 8 seconds, but it's just too little too late when it comes to how much time he can cut off. There are a couple of packs around this racetrack, so we'll see if anything happens in the last 7 laps. Obviously, if you're Piedra, you're asking every time, how many more? How many more? How many more laps do I have to do? After Charlotte led the most laps, did not come away with the victory after a late caution. And that led to Justin Kane getting that victory. Indianapolis, internet issues, look to be on the way to the win. Internet plagues him, does not come away with the victory. And then last week at Bristol, appeared to be the dominant car of the day pretty much. Lost it on the last restart to our eventual winner, Mason Hausman. So with 5 laps to go, he is putting them down, picking them up, putting them down, trying to go as fast as he can. Parker's got it another 2/10. Still, if Parker had a better pit stop, we'd be talking about a battle for the win. Unfortunately, it does not appear that's going to happen.
Yeah, pretty much everyone here is spread out. You got a couple of lap down cars mixed in with some guys on the lead lap. Not really any battles going on in the track. I think the 2 closest cars together are going to be the 3rd and 4th position as far as right now, followed by a short distance to 5th. Then we have 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th all kind of stacked up. But other than that, it's pretty much just Adrian Piedra sailing away with this one. No contest as of right now.
Under 4 laps to go. He gets to the white flag, the race is official. Still a long way to go until he gets to that point. But right now, he's pretty solidly out front of Jalen Parker and the rest of the field. 3 more laps at Atlanta. Off turn 2, down the backstretch. 2.5 laps left.
Some of the guys in the back praying for caution. Adrian Piedra hoping he never sees one. He knows the guys behind him have fresher tires, so.
We're running out of time.
See, Alex Coffey finally comes in for a pit stop there.
2 laps to go for Adrian Piedra. Sails off into 1 and 2. Race shatter. They're pretty fun. 3 and 4. Piedra's hoping for 2 more corners. Without a yellow. Flagman has the white flag in hand. 4 more corners for Adrian Piedra.
Barring disaster, Piedra looks to be the no contest winner of this race.
You can tell he's taking it extremely easy right now, and I don't believe. Obviously, with so much happening to him the last few times out here. Today, dominance. Finally, 3 weeks of struggles after dominating the race, both stages, and a race win. Piedra's locked in. He wins in Atlanta.
What an amazing race by Piedra after qualifying on the pole position and having to fight through some adversity of getting put off the track and being raced pretty hard by some of these guys up here. He absolutely dominated this race, and you can definitely know that he has been waiting for this one a long time in the making.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to give us a showdown here. It's been 3 weeks coming now of him coming out and having speed, but something got in the way today. He was not going to be denied. And it becomes the Intimidator Cup Series 6th different winner. And he will burn it down at the start-finish line. Locked into the 12-car playoff grid.
I definitely expect to see a very good celebration here. Mason Hausman-esque. He's been waiting just as long to get this thing.
Oh, yeah. Look at this. Oh, man. He is loving it. Give him a minute here before we get to him. We're going to try to get to as many people as possible because obviously, a lot of guys waiting for a chance to get a word in. We're going to get to the top 5, so plenty of storylines to go around with that when it comes down to it. So we'll go through the finishing order while we... maybe his celebration may have just ended a little prematurely. He has lost the engine on the 78.
I tell you what, if there's one way to go out after winning a race is to blow up the car and never get in the same one again.
He went out and spun on the track and got all the good out of it. That's what.
Most definitely.
Piedra, with the victory and the stage wins, takes home the big-time bounty. He'll be receiving that retro Dale Earnhardt hat, courtesy of our friends at JCB Excavation, along with $10 for winning both stages. It found himself in the best place all day long and gets it done finally. So Piedra wins. Jalen Parker, you can't say enough about his performance today. He showed speed all day. At times looked like he might have had the race won. He comes home second, though, and I can tell you he will not be disappointed in that finish. Matthew Coker comes home in third. So two new faces, second and third today. How about a first impression for those two? Running second and third. Coker was up front all day as well, having to come from 31st. Hausman finishes with a top 5, so overall a pretty good day for him. We'll get to talk to him here in a minute. Jonathan Hammond comes home in 5th. How about that finish for Jonathan Hammond? I believe it's his first top 5 of the season.
Very proud of him.
A solid run for him.
Being the owner of CMM, it's very nice to see one of my guys finally crack that top 5 spot. So
Jacob Hott comes home in 6th out of RRE, so a solid day for RRE, at least for those two cars. Piedra and Hott 1st and 6th today. John Curtis leads up Runts Racing cars today. He comes home in 7th. Ethan Fournier, another new face in the top 10. He comes home in the 8th position. Had to overcome a lot of adversity to get back to that 8th position, especially after starting second to last on the grid in 36th. Clint McGill with a 9th place finish, and I'll tell you what, he needed that when it comes to the points that he is looking for as we get into the next few weeks. That's going to help him a ton. With some guys above him in points not having a great day, McGill, that's exactly what you needed. Is a good, consistent run, and he does just that. Running out the top 10, Justin Kane. So the gamble almost paid off for him. He ends up with a top 10, though. He's locked in the playoffs. It's a good points day. It's about everything you could have asked for out of the 12. Ian Nelson comes home in 11th. Another guy that was new to us tonight. Ran well. Had ups and downs tonight, obviously not of his own doing, but rallies back to get 11th. And our points leader comes home 12th. Definitely his roughest race of the season. But he comes back and manages a decent finish out of it, and he should keep the points lead here as we head next week into Chicagoland. Don Milkowicz with his best finish. He comes home in 13th. Brady Shue, first car lap down in 14th. Lucas Sylvester in his first start brings home a top 15. Clayton Fry brings it home in 16th. Michael Landfair in 17th out of Team Fist. Nathan Bentley in 18th. Paul Ferdiani 19th. And Alex Coffey rounds out our top 20. Matthew Fleming, a great day, a fast car. Internet plagues him. He comes home 21st. But got some stage points, so that's going to help him a ton. Jason Waller, we talked about him a little bit. Rallying back from some struggles. He'll come home 22nd. Gavin Rogers comes home 23rd. Griffin Williams looked like he was going to get a really good finish. Unfortunately, like last week, the engine goes on him again. He'll come home 24th. Tanner Brooks comes home in the 25th position. DJ Thomas right behind him in 26th. Luis Accardo, another guy we can't really say enough about. He had a really solid day. Overall, when you think about it, got some stage points and comes home 27th. So not the finish that he wanted, but definitely a pretty good run for him. TJ Roberts in 28th. That's another unfortunate finishing spot for TJ. I mean, obviously he's still pretty good in points, so this isn't going to be the end of the world for him, but definitely not what he wanted after running so well at the beginning of the race. Brandon Williams comes home 29th. Cody Harrelson running out the top 30. James Kubinek 31st. Marcus Miller 32nd. Logan Ikra 33rd. Steve Korsak 34th. Cody Griffith 35th. Ron Holmes 36th. Marcus Coker rounds out the field in the 37th position. So we'll go through it here. Give me just a second. We definitely want to get to the top 5 if possible. So we'll kind of go through it one by one. And obviously we're going to start with our race winner, Adrian Piedra. And this is a long time coming for Mr. Piedra. And I know he's going to be very with how the race ended today. And let's get a word from him. Adrian, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
I got you loud and clear.
Man, you told us you were going to win at Bristol. Didn't end up dominant today. I'll repeat that because my thing cut out again. So you told us you were going to win at Bristol. Didn't work out for you. So you come in this week and you dominate. It was quite a performance to watch all race, really, making the right moves. It finally comes together for you. How does this feel?
I feel amazing, man. I was sweating that entire last run. I'm just so happy that we could come out here with Rowdy Ross Enterprises and get our first win for our team. It just shows the effort we put in. We practiced a ton for this race, and I'm just so happy that we finally got it done.
Yeah, definitely. It's been such a long time coming after you had speed. All 3 times you've come out and attempted it, and we knew you were waiting on one to go your way, and it fell your way today, and you get the win. You're locked into the playoffs. Where do you go from here?
I'm not sure, but I'm sure we're to keep winning, that's for sure. We definitely have the speed to make it to the Final Four, but I'm just so happy after this race, and I'm looking forward to my teammates getting their wins because they also have a long overdue wins.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We've definitely seen them getting faster as the weeks have gone on, and y'all are getting so much faster as we go, and we are definitely excited to see where y'all go from here. We'll let you get back to celebrating. Man, enjoy this. We know it. You've been waiting on this one, and go celebrate it.
Thank you so much, guys.
That's race winner Adrian Piedra. You could hear it in his voice. You'd almost hear the smile on his face there as he celebrates the victory. Man, you can't say enough about his performance tonight. Absolutely dominant all night long, and he gets it done at the end. We're going to go to runner-up Jalen Parker next. This is the guy we talked to before the race, and he said he was going to be fast, and he was fast. He definitely has a ton of speed going into another 1.5 mile stretch here later on in the season. It suits him well, and if he can carry over this speed, he's going to be a contender week in and week out. So we'll hear from him here. Hey, Jalen, it's a broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you guys. What's up?
Well, it looked like, you were up there all day, really, and it was a solid run for you. You come home second. I mean, obviously, it's probably not the win you definitely wanted, and you told us you wanted before the race started. But how do you feel with P2?
Yeah, overall, I mean, it was a good day. Good night for us. Unforced errors. I had damage early, so it's kind of affecting my long run speed. But then I got it fixed, and there on that second to last run, I was able to keep with the 78. Which congrats to him. He obviously deserved the win. I was able to keep up with him, so I felt happy with the car going in the long run, and I tried to short pit. I knew that if I could get in at least a lap before him, that I could come out in front, and I lost it on pit road. So fortunately enough, I still was able to bring it home second, being that I spun out on pit road. But yeah, overall, I mean, it was a decent day for our team. Lucas struggled, got in a lot of accidents, but he was able to get it fixed and still came home with the top 15. So I'd say it was a pretty successful day for us. Looking forward. I definitely showed a lot of speed, and I know I can race with these guys. So the win will come.
Yeah, and speaking on that, obviously, I mean, so I want to know, I'm kind of just curious. So, and when we know you have speed at 1.5 miles, we've obviously seen it. But as we go to other types of tracks, you obviously talked about Watkins Glen before the race. But, I mean, can you keep the speed up consistently? I mean, is this going to be an every week thing? Because, I mean, it was incredible to watch you pick through the field.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty fast. I'm pretty confident in what I can bring to the race car. We practice a lot. I hope that the first couple of laps was fun there, coming from 22nd. I think I was up to like 8th by the end of I finished 5th in the first stage, but I was able to come to 8th in like 20 laps or something. So I know it was fun driving. So yeah, I'm pretty confident in what I can do. But it takes a lot to be able to win one of these races. Obviously, being that we're on a fixed setup, you can dominate a race and something can go wrong, or you can dominate the race and win, like Adrian did. So just everything has to fall our way. But I'm pretty confident that the win will come to get us into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely it's good to hear that confidence. And we'll let you get back to celebrating the P2 finish, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you very soon.
Cool. All right, man. Appreciate it. Take care, guys.
Second place, Jalen Parker, confident and focused. That's the 2 words I get out of that interview. I'm cutting out again. I'm trying to get it fixed. I think I figured out what's wrong. I think I'm not standing in front of my microphone. So let's hold it like this. So yeah, confident and focused are the words I get from that. And obviously it seems like he's going to compete every week, and he's going to put the preparation in to stay up front. And he provided Piedra some problems today, some problems I didn't know that he was going to be able to provide. He stayed with Piedra all day, and mean, we got a lot of races left. He's going to be very competitive. So good to hear his focus is going to be pretty intense the next few weeks. We'll go to third now, and this is Matthew Coker, another first-time driver, and I'm sure this is going to be some pretty good words as well. He ran really well all day. It was always in front. You're always calling his name. You could always see that red and white number 31 near the front of the field. So we'll get his take on his run today. Hey, Matt, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
Gotcha.
All right. Well, that was a great first run for you. You bring it home in P3. You were up front really all day, it seemed like, after you charged from near the back of the field. So how do you feel about it? I mean, what does P3 feel like?
Well, I tell you, our CokerRacing.com Chevrolet had really good long speed run. I didn't have very good short speed run, but I think if we would have had some longer runs there, I was gonna be up there in contention because I was watching the lap times, and I kind of like to save quite a bit of tire as much as I can. But that last little stint there, I pitted just a few laps too late there. But all in all, good run. So I'm proud of the effort. So.
Yeah, it's good, definitely good to hear that confidence. And speaking of the confidence, I mean, as we hear, obviously, as you make more starts and you get more experience, I mean, what can we expect? Is this going to be a week in, week out kind of deal where you're always up near the front?
I think you'll, like I said, I like long runs. I like to save tire. I learned a lot watching some guys this evening. But I think if we get some long green flag runs, I should be up near the front as long as I can stay out of trouble. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, it's obviously a key, especially in a race like tonight. Well, we wish you the best of luck as the season goes on, and we hope to be talking to you very soon.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
That was third place finisher Matt Coker there. A solid run, another focused, confident interview. Man, some of these new guys, I'm telling you, they are very confident in their ability, and they're going to be some of the most focused guys out there every week. So, I mean, watch out. Coker, Parker, John Curtis, who we're going to talk to here in just a few minutes. I mean, these guys are going to compete. They're here to compete, and we cannot wait to see them do it. Well, we were going to get Mason. He was in there for a second. I'm going to go find him. Well, maybe I'm not. Oh, yes, I am. Mason, it's the broadcast booth. You got me? Mason, it's the broadcast booth. You got me? Oh, you're good. You're all good. Well, you come home P4. Good day for you. You ran up front all day. First off, I mean, how does the run feel to you?
I'm just here so I don't get fined. No, I'm just joking. It felt pretty good. I don't know what happened between me and TJ. I felt like he tried taking me out, but it kind of backhanded himself with it. We'll probably look at it later on, but I'm not trying to create any enemies out here. Yeah, I was pinching a lot of people down today, but that's just because that's just how I race sometimes. When I'm at tracks I'm not very strong at, I do that type of stuff, trying to stay in front of people. Congratulations to Adrian. He had the speed all day. Too bad we couldn't get that. Oh shoot! Too bad we couldn't get that late caution. I'm good at those short runs. If we had that late caution, I don't know. I maybe could have been able to get in there, but yeah, I thought it's a pretty good points day for me. I mean, I'm in the playoffs because of that win last week, and right now I'm just trying to get points, pretty much, just trying to make myself look good.
Yeah, you kind of touched on it there. You're looking primarily for points here as we move on a little further in the season. So we go to another mile and a half next week for the All-Star break. What are you aiming for next week headed into the 1 week break?
Not to get spun out. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel like is going to happen. I feel like someone might get someone might come over and backhand me for what I did today. I don't know. Yeah, this is mile and a half doesn't seem like to be my thing. Other than Las Vegas, that's the only track I think I've done good at. I don't know. I'm a little nervous right now because I don't feel like the next couple of races that we're doing, I'm not very known to be good at.
Well, we'll definitely have to see, obviously, as we go next week to Chicago before taking the All-Star break. So I mean, best of luck to you as we go, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon.
All right, thank you.
That's Mason Hausman, our fourth place finisher. A solid run for him all day, really hung near the front, led a few times, and kind of almost played spoiler to Piedra's 3-stage effort in stage 2, leading a good amount of laps there. Obviously, he's already locked in. You heard it. He's looking for points. He does just that today. Has a really, really solid points day, and he'll definitely make up some ground in the point standings. Looking to get towards the top of the playoff grid as we move closer to our 15th and final race of the regular season. Fifth place tonight was John Hammond, and this is a guy we haven't gotten to talk to much, but definitely a guy that's going to be fun to hear from after a top 5 run for him. His best run so far this season, and we'll see what he's got to say about it. And that was the wrong voice chat. Look at me go. I'm doing good today. John Hammond, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
Got you guys.
Well, hey, you come home with a top 5. I'm sure you've been waiting on that one for a little. It's got to feel good, I'm sure. So, I mean, kind of take us through how you feel about your day overall.
Yeah, it definitely does feel good for the top 5. I was hoping for a caution at the end after made that short stop. But yeah, definitely a good one. I had a good short run car. Not really the best long run car, but top 5, I'll take it any day.
Yeah, definitely it is. It's a run you definitely want it, sure. And as we go on, it's a good points day for you. But where do you kind of go from here as the season moves on?
Hopefully just keep collecting points and keep getting at least those top 10s and hopefully stay out of the cautions, stay out of the shit show.
Yeah, definitely a very definitely a goal we hope you achieve. Best of luck as the season goes on, and we hope to be talking to you soon.
Thank you. You guys have a good one too.
Another guy you can kind of hear, and I want to touch on this before we get to a couple more interviews here, but you can tell when these guys give their little interviews post race the emotion that goes into running a race like this. It's a long race. It obviously it's a roller coaster for some guys to get through it. You heard it with Piedra, you heard it with Jalen Parker, you hear it with Hammond, you heard it with Mason last week. I think was the best example of it. It means a lot to these guys. You may not think it means a lot to some of these guys, but it really does. And succeeding at this is really, I mean, it's a big deal for some of these guys. So it's nice to hear when they've had a good run and everything's gone right for them. And it definitely all went right for John Hammond tonight. And it's a really good points day that he desperately needed as we get into the middle portion of the season. Next guy I want to get to, another new driver. It's going to be John Curtis of the 117. He came home 7th tonight out of Runts Racing. So a solid first run for him, and we'll see how he feels about it. John Curtis, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
I got you loud and clear.
All right, P7 in your first start's got to feel pretty good, especially considering the amount of incidents we had kind of all race. So, I mean, take us through it. How does it feel on your end?
It feels good. Me and Alex, we're teammates now, and I feel like we did really good. We were strong all day in top 10. I made it up top 5 a few times. Just had a couple unfortunate incidents, and then the last green flag pit stop, I kind of screwed it up. But other than that, it was fun. Looking forward to it. I think the 1.5 miles are going to be good for us, and we'll show out.
Yeah, definitely. It was exciting to watch y'all have that much speed on 1.5 miles. So you and your teammate Alex Coffey, obviously. To kind of take us through, what are y'all thinking as far as results? Like, what are your expectations for both of you as individuals and both of you as a team as the season moves on?
Well, definitely we're going to try to get one of us in the playoffs, try to get that win. We're both good at Chicagoland, so that should be interesting. Also, Michigan, we're looking forward to it, too. We put a lot of practice laps on both. The goal per race is, obviously to win, but if we can get top 10, top 5, that's the ultimate goal. Really, we need to work on pit strategy and especially getting into the pits and being clean. So other than that, I think we're good. I had a lot of long run speed. I don't really know about Alex. He did really good on fresh tires, and with him being in the front for most of the race, he had to push it. So I was trying to save tires for most of the race, and it ended up working out. So
Yeah, it was fun to see it work out for both of you guys, and best of luck as we move on from here, especially next week at Chicagoland. We'll be hoping to talk to both of you next week.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Seventh place finisher John Curtis in the 117. You heard him mention Chicago and Michigan. We heard a lot of guys mention those two tracks, both on the air and off the air. That's a good track for them. So, I mean, you definitely don't want to miss next week, or really any of the weeks now leading up to the playoffs, as the points battle continues to heat up and we continue to have more new winners. It seems like every week somebody else is up front contending for a win that could play a little bit of spoiler to a guy that just runs consistently. And it's going to change guys' strategy come North Wilkesboro in the first week of June when it comes to who makes the playoffs and who goes, not really goes home, but who misses out. So a few more guys left here. We're going to try to power through it before we get to wrapping up tonight's events. We'll go to Clayton Fry. What was that? He has been in there for a while. All right. Yeah, sure. No doubt. I did it again. What is... Oh, all right, we're having a great night up here, if you can't tell. Jason, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah.
Well, when we saw you there middle late in the race, coming back towards the front, it seemed like you were always caught in somebody else's mess. And you ended up kind of behind the 8-ball, but you got back to 12th, and then it kind of seemed like it fell apart because of somebody else's mess again. So kind of take us through your day.
Yeah, we started 34th, darn near dead last, and I felt like I had a good car beginning of the race, and I was making my way up, and all them crashes, I seemed to kept getting lucky and getting through and not being able to see with all the new factors, with all the smoke from the tires. And, I got up there I think I got up, the highest I got was 7th or so, and got up with a lap car after I pitted there on like lap 150 and ended my night. But I didn't come in here with very high expectations, but after tonight I'm really excited to see where the rest of the season goes.
Yeah, and kind of speaking on that, we've talked to a few guys about it, so I want to ask you the same question. I mean, what are your expectations kind of for yourself as we go on, now that you've had a start under your belt? I mean, where do you take this experience, and what do you expect in the coming weeks?
Hopefully next week at Chicagoland we can, I missed qualifying last night, so hopefully next week I can get in and get a good qualifying lap and start somewhere up front. But other than that, I don't have really high expectations, with this being my first race, and, if I get a win, cool, but, if not, I'll be back next year and better than ever,
Yeah, definitely, and it's good to hear that confidence out of you, and definitely wish you the best of luck as we go on from here, and we hope to be talking to you very soon.
Awesome, thanks.
That's Jason Waller. You kind of heard it from him. I mean, he comes out with more confidence, and that's ultimately after a night like he had. I mean, it's good to at least come out with a positive, and he comes out with a lot of excitement going into the next few weeks. So expect him, like many other guys that you see out running on the racetrack, he's going to put his head down and get to work and try to make himself better as the league goes on. A couple more guys I want to get to real quick, and then we'll wrap it up for the evening. We'll start with a couple. Well, actually, it's both guys really. The Red Eye Racing teammates of Clayton Friday and Nelson. We'll go to Clayton first. Obviously, saw him on his roof somehow drive away from that crash. I'm not sure how he managed that, but kind of a rough day for him. But he comes away with an okay finish when it comes down to it. So let's see how he felt. Clayton, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
Sure do, buddy. How's it going?
Not too bad. It was a pretty good race out there, and overall a pretty good for you. Obviously, other than getting, it seems like you always got caught in somebody else's mess. Saw you on your roof a couple times. So kind of take us through it. You end up, I think, 16th, but I can't remember off the top of my head, but definitely didn't seem like you were moving out of anybody's way.
No, like you said, I made it up to 7th there, my highest point, and decided to go squirrel hunting a little bit, and ended up on my roof. Didn't really get a lot of damage out of that. It was just a simple roll, and I got lucky and was at pit road when it happened. I was able to get back out, and then I think the next caution, I just basically killed my motor. I had nowhere to go, so put me 3 laps down. Ended up 31st, worked my way up, made a call, I think, at the second stage, stay out with my teammate Don, and that really paid off. I figured we maybe would have a caution there on the start, and it worked out good for us. It was a good team effort. Me, Ian, Don. I think Ian finished 11th, Don 13th, 16th. First time on the track, man. Really can't complain. I stayed out of trouble, didn't cause no wrecks, didn't wreck the field, didn't tear up my car. It was really fast, good tire wear. I had a good race, man.
Yeah, it was fun to watch you all three of you really work through the field and kind of work through what the race brought. So both individually and as a team, where do you go from here through the next few weeks?
Well, we're going to hopefully try to stay. We're not really expecting to be fighting for the win. We're still like Chicagoland. I haven't raced that yet. And of course, Don just joined us today. We're just kind of learning each other and helping each other out on our strong suits and just trying to be respectable, I guess, just kind of be the guys that are, knowing you can run fair and clean. You don't have to worry about us. And top fives will come and maybe stage wins will come, but we're just trying to stay out of trouble and kind of learn every week.
Well, that's definitely all you can do, and we wish you the best in that, and hopefully we'll be talking to you pretty soon.
All right. Thanks, guys. Great job doing the broadcast. Y'all do an awesome job, man. Good job.
I appreciate that. That's Clayton Fry. Heard from him before the race and after the race. Definitely a positive guy. Always looking, what they can do better. And, good to hear good things from him. We'll go to his teammate, Ian Mad Dog Nelson, next. We'll see what he's got to say after his really solid run overall. Same kind of thing with some issues. And I think we're going to end up, well, obviously we'll talk to Ian, but we'll end up closing the night with the only way you can close the night, I think. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a couple minutes. We'll get to Ian first. Ian, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, we heard from your teammate there, Clayton, talking about really how the team as a whole had a. So, how do you feel both individually and how your teammates did?
I feel good. Like I said, top 15 was realistic and got 11th, so I just tried to stay as clean as I can. I got wiped out there a couple times, but I think I did pretty solid there. I know my teammates hung in there, and I think we battled back to get back up there.
Yeah, and definitely we kind of mentioned that with Clayton. We were watching y'all battle back through the field. Y'all ended really with solid finishes and some positive momentum. And speaking on that, where do you take the positive momentum from here as we go to Chicagoland and beyond?
Hoping to take it and get a top 10. I know that track should be a lot fun. This one not as loose, so you can get a better run there.
Yeah, for sure.
Do it for Red Eye Racing.
Yeah, definitely. And it'll be fun to watch y'all take to it next week and the weeks after that. We hope to be talking to you soon, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Yep, appreciate it. You guys do a good job on everything, so I appreciate everything.
Appreciate that, sir. And that's Ian Mad Dog Nelson here in the 11th place run for him tonight. Really, really solid. And, well, I saw him. He's not here anymore. I see him. Like I said, the only way you can end tonight is with this guy. And if you have not stuck around before to hear this guy, you are in for a treat. We're going to bring in our good buddy, the first lap bandit, Derek Preston, and I cannot guarantee what he is going to say. So prepare yourself, I guess is the best way to put it. We'll see what he's going to say. Oh, I did it again, dude. All right, that's attempt number 3. Hey, Derek, first lap bandit. Broadcast booth, you got me, bud?
Hey, boys, how you doing up there in the bird seat?
Man, I am doing really good. We just watched a heck of a race, and, man, we missed you on track again.
Hey, let me tell you what a race them boys put out there today. I tell you what, it's like taking your damn cousin out on a date. Ain't nothing wrong with get her done.
Yeah, and obviously excited as always, and, I mean, dude, we're missing you out there. When can we expect to see the first lap bandit take to the racetrack again?
Let me tell you something. I've been down for a couple weeks here, but the bandit next week, Chicagoland Speedway. I'm going to come out and I'm going to give my fans a show. I know everybody's been asking, where's the bandit? Well, I tell you what, Chicagoland next week. Same time, same channel. And don't turn it down. Turn it, because you're going to have the bandit right there. Just going to be, well, I'm not going to say the word, but they're going to be effed up.
Wow. Well, I mean, obviously, bold words as always from our good buddy, the First Light Bandit. Man, next week cannot come soon enough. We cannot wait to have you back out on track with us, and we will, I'm sure, talk to you before the race next week.
Get her done, boys. Get her done.
It speaks for itself. So you heard it there. He'll be back with us next week. So tune back in. First Lap Bandit coming back to us at Chicagoland. He's had some computer issues, but he's going to be able to get back with us starting next week. He's missed a couple weeks, but no less. I don't even know how to put it. I don't know. I really don't even know what to say.
The energy has remained in the First Lap Bandit. If anything, I think he's been bottling it up and ready to release it next week whenever he gets onto the track. So I'm sure we'll have to pull him in for a pre and post race interview next week as well. I know he's been excited. He was really, really upset that he wasn't able to race with us for the past two. Obviously, we were sad to not see him out there on the track, giving him the memorial race, as fitting as it was at Bristol. And I'm glad to hear that he'll be joining us again next week.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be good to have him back as we. So we are through our first 6 races of the regular season, and we are inching closer every week to our playoff cutoff race at North Wilkesboro, which actually we have just decided is going to be throwback week. So you definitely want to tune in there. It's you got a while to wait, but definitely want to get the news out early that our playoff cutoff race number 15 from North Wilkesboro, is going to be our throwback event. So definitely going to be excited to see what guys come up with as paint schemes on their cars for that race. And it's going to be an exciting event overall. Next week, though, looking a little bit closer to where we are now, we head to the Chicagoland Speedway, another 1.5 miles. You hear a lot of guys talking that it's a little bit easier to run than Atlanta, a little bit to adapt to, a little bit easier in the short run to be able to make moves. So you will not want to miss it. Next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Qualifying on Tuesday. Race on Wednesday. Same amount of laps as tonight. So we get ever closer to that playoff cutoff line. Man, tonight was great. Good racing. A bunch of new faces for the league. Overall, an awesome night for me. I had a lot of fun. It comes down to it. Peyton, got anything else for us?
I believe that's it for us. Stay tuned next week for a lot more content. Might be skipping out on the Full Pedal Jacket Oval Madness this weekend. Still unsure about that, but we'll be making posts on our Facebook page and Instagram page. If you haven't checked those out yet and you're interested in trying to keep a little bit more up to date on what's going on, Instagram is Full Pedal Jacket Official and Facebook is just Full Pedal Jacket. Be a place for you guys to follow along and get some more information, maybe a little behind the scenes action as we keep going through the rest of this season.
Yeah, well, with all of that said, that is League owner Peyton Jennings, as per the usual, joining me up. I am Dawson Wise, a.k.a. Big Hickory, bringing you some more Full Pedal Jacket content, and we hope to see you back here very soon next week at Chicagoland. Everybody, have a great night.